what? It's for later on in the show, Michelle. Do you think it's creepy? Is there a little bit of a creep level? What are you eating?
A cracker.
You're snacking. You're like Fester over there.
Well, I'm hungry.
All right. It's,
Am I allowed to eat?
Yes, you are. 6:01 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ here, Fester over there, Michelle over there. And I was just, Fester, you kind of missed the conversation here. I was just prepping something to post on Instagram because I've got a story involving an actor.
Okay.
It's a female. So,
right.
But you know what? You're not supposed to say actress anymore. However, with the award shows, it is Best Actor and Best Actress.
Well, they
So-
have to delineate.
Of course they do. So it ought to be, you know what? It ought to be actor penis, actor vagina. Is what?
Okay, that's gross.
That makes perfect sense.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Actor Wang.
Actor Wang?
Yeah.
And actor vajayjay. Or hoo-ha.
Already this morning,
Yes.
fellas. Come on.
No, listen. But seriously, if you think about this, Hollywood, you
Yeah.
know, is all politically correct, and you know, you're not supposed to call a female actor and actress anymore, but in the award shows they do. So that it's sort of a contradiction, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's called politically correct anymore either.
Contradiction. All right. Anyway, so
It's called woke, MJ.
it is. All right. So I'm preparing.
Yeah.
I have an image that I took some years ago, which involves an actor, but it is a female actor that's well known from a variety of hit television programs. And I was just preparing this image to put up because I happen to have a story about this actor coming up later on in the show. And I was just getting this Instagram post ready. And I'm going to make it a reel. Even though it's a still shot, I'm going to turn it into a reel. And I just did like a quick 5-second voiceover. So it's a little more interactive when I do post it later on. And I was just talking to Michelle about this because Michelle was not on this flight where this image happened with this celebrity. But you think well, you know the story. Don't reveal who it is yet or what the action is.
Julia Roberts.
No, it's not Julia. But you think it's pretty creepy, right?
Yes.
But I'm still going to post it.
Is it
Well-
a top tier actress?
She's pretty well known. I mean, she's, you know, if you don't know the name, you know what she's been in.
Okay.
Do you?
All right. Well,
I'm going to challenge you when you
all right,
reveal.
fine, challenge me. All right, welcome everybody. MJ and the crew here. Tell you what, the time change for me, and look, don't cry for me, Argentina, okay? I mean, I'm not looking for any sympathy here. I went on a 2-week plus jaunt to Asia. I went to the Philippines to go scuba diving, and I was on the exact opposite side of the world. I mean, total 180. We were 12 hours ahead. So, we're not talking about a little measly, 2-hour time change to go to, Denver or something, or 3 hours to go to Los Angeles. Now, I was a full half a day ahead, 12 hours, and the time change has kind of kicked my butt a little bit, and I'm sleeping a lot during the day still. When I got home from the morning show yesterday, I was probably up until about 12:30. No, actually, I had to record the Hollands yesterday, so I was done at about 1:30. So I took a quick little nap like at 11:15 to 11:45, and then I fell asleep again after 1:30. Didn't wake up until 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a long nap.
Yeah, so my time schedule is all screwed up. But listen, I'm not looking for any sympathy here. But I think I'm getting better though. This morning, I think I had the longest, normal overnight uninterrupted sleep since I got back to town early Sunday morning last weekend. In that, Michelle, we were asleep at midnight, right? About midnight, 12:30 or so.
Thereabouts.
So 12:30 or so, I think we fell asleep, and I bolted awake at 3:55. So about an hour ahead of where I normally get up to do the morning show. So I've been up since, it's about 3:50, somewhere in that vicinity. So I was up an hour earlier. That last hour of sleep
That's
is
the best.
It is. So I lost that last hour of sleep, but I think I'm starting to get better. So I still feel a little off kilter, but listen, that's the price you pay for going on the other side of the planet to go scuba diving, which I'm glad I still made that decision. All right, Fester, what cluster is going on in your life in the last 24 hours?
Well, yeah,
you know what? I'm going to start the show with this. This is a new feature on the MJ Morning Show. We'll start at 6 o'clock every morning asking Fester what cluster frig has happened since the last broadcast?
All right.
See, I'm already onto something. I don't even know if something exists, but clearly something does.
No, I mean-
What's the latest fester cluster frig?
No, I mean, there's no cluster frig. It's just it was a good day. Yesterday was a I don't know. Yesterday was
good?
So nothing happened.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean nothing of
Everything great with Hadley?
nothing of cluster dimensions.
Hudson?
Yeah,
Allison?
they're fine.
No domestic
All
issue?
right, I guess I'm
I mean-
barking up the wrong tree.
I mean, certain days there are clusters. I mean, I didn't go to any hotels for breakfast after the show. I
And get kicked out?
I didn't skip scan anything at the self checkout.
You didn't do the banana sticker trick?
Okay,
Oh,
it's
no,
not the banana
son.
sticker trick.
Well, because, I've got a story about the latest banana sticker trick, which I had in the pile yesterday. I just didn't get around to
Did
it.
I ever tell you about the oats trick that my friend taught me?
No, listen, I don't want to. I don't
Yeah.
want to perpetuate your
I want to hear.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't practice this, but at stores
Oh.
that are really popular with weighing what you buy,
Uh-huh.
you go to the meat department and you get 5 pounds of steak, and it's $100.
Okay.
And then you go to the oats department and you get a 5-pound sticker of oats. And you put the sticker over the meat and you go to the self scan and you just
Dude,
scan
I
it,
don't
you know.
want to broad.
Yeah.
That is awful.
I'm telling you.
That is.
I'm-
Why are you even revealing this? All right, first
it's
of all,
in the say no to drugs kind of way. I mean, I'm telling you because I don't want you to do it.
all right,
Wait,
hang on.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, Jesus.
Isn't there surveillance, camera monitoring and
So here's the thing: who's actually watching the camera?
Oh,
if you
God.
ever
All right,
notice,
you know-
these cameras are now used to go back to find things.
You're the worst.
Like if you slip and fall, then they'll go back in the camera.
Fester,
Okay.
Nobody's sitting in an office.
I have had the reels pop up where some imbecile trying to create content is in the meat section and they'll peel the sticker off a much cheaper cut. Like some kind, what is the worst, the toughest, cheapest cut of beef from the cow that you find at the supermarket?
Oh, the cow nuts.
Come on, what is you?
Like a big brisket? I mean, that's expensive
not,
cut
no,
though.
Not a big brisket. There, I can't. Is it top round or something? It's the cheap, tough, non-desirable parts of the cow that are still sold in the meat department.
please.
And I've seen several reels where people they'll pick out a twin pack of filet mignon. It's $45.94, and they'll peel off the sticker off the cellophane of the really cheap meat that's $7 or $5.94. They'll peel that off and they'll place it on top of the fillets.
Top round roast comes in at the lowest cost, most budget friendly piece of beef.
Look at that. I was right. The top round. I know my beef. I know my meat.
And you know what? And you really can't beat it, man. Good for you.
You can't beat my meat.
Okay.
You can't-
Break time already.
All right.
Both of you to your corners.
You can't
Just
You
too
can't-
much already.
You can't beat my meat knowledge.
You can try. Try all day if you like.
Hey, did we ever find our traffic? Andrew, turn your microphone on.
Are we missing traffic?
Oh, we had a big crisis this morning. Nobody heard from Schreiner, our traffic guy, and we missed our 5:42 traffic report, and all the stations in the building were like, oh, my God, we haven't heard from Schreiner. So everyone's thinking the worst, that he was murdered,
Right.
that maybe he crashed his motorcycle into a garbage truck or something. No. All right, so, Andrew, we've located Schreiner. Is he in the hospital?
He is on the air with us today.
Do we know why
I didn't discuss it
We
with
have
him.
no idea, but Schreiner we had a massive crisis. There was everyone's running around, oh my God, this is not like Schreiner. Schreiner's very reliable. He's always, no one's heard from Schreiner. So everyone's thinking the worst. They're getting ready to call the police and the morgue.
Well, there's a history with that, man.
With what?
Like in the 80s or early 90s, there was a guy that worked for, I think, WFLA who never came to work.
All right, hold on. Can you hold on to that thought? I don't want to go too long
I
here.
know.
I don't want to get out of whack.
Yeah.
All right, can you relay that? Does this have a bad ending?
Oh, a terrible ending.
Oh,
the worst.
oh my
It's really bad.
God. All right, hang on. A really horrible story with a bad ending is next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Back in a minute. a story, Fester or Michelle? You know when you have an item where you're not supposed to laugh, but you laugh anyway? You know, it's kind of like when somebody falls down the stairs. You're not supposed to laugh, right? You're not supposed to laugh at that, but there's just something funny about something. You know, I don't know if you know the story, Michelle, but my grandma, and I don't know if this is like a family urban legend, but my grandma Franny, who I have discussed, I had two grandmas. I had Grandma Franny, Grandma Minky. Now, why was Minky Minky? Because her real name was Hermina. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with Minky too.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I must have been an auto there. Yeah. Can you reset everything? I screwed it up, Andrew. Yeah, I just did. I don't think our audience heard anything, but I just did something. I screwed up something technically. So if you can replace that, rebuild it, and bring it back to normal, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Your grandfather doing it with your grandmother, having to call her Hermina.
Yeah. So my grandma Minky's real name was Hermina, and such a terrible name for a woman.
Well, I think they were hoping or thought they were going to have a boy.
Yeah,
and it was going to be Herman.
It was going to be Herman, exactly. So Herman was the name if it was a boy, and they were so hell-bent on that name that they named my grandma Hermina, and somehow it morphed into a nickname, Minky. So anyway, my grandma Franny. So the story is that my grandma's older sister fell down the stairs at I think she was 9 or 10 years old, really hurt herself. I mean, not like debilitating, didn't end up in a wheelchair, with like a neck brace for 17 years. But something happened with their relationship that after that, they hated each other. It's like a switch was flicked. And I had once asked what the story was. Why? Because I always heard, when you're a kid, you pay attention to all this crap. When you're a kid, you're just all ears and you just take in all kinds of crap. For instance, I've got a funny story to tell when I was a little kid, which I'll get to in a second. But I had overheard the story about how my grandmother does not like her older sister, and
vice versa.
It's mutual, exactly.
There's always been beef there.
And the story was that my grandma Franny laughed when her older sister fell down the stairs and hurt herself, and that for whatever reason they hated each other for till the grave. It was it was just weird. And the other thing about kids, and you got to be careful because kids absorb and listen to everything.
They do.
The family politics is brand new to them.
Yes.
So one of the stories that my family has told for years was the family used this decorator, an interior decorator. My grandma used them, relatives, my parents used this interior decorator back when I was a kid in New York. And the decorator's name was Julie Green. All right. And apparently Julie Green was not really good at telling the truth. Like what stuff cost or when it was going to be in and when the job was going to be done, and ordered a new couch through the interior designer, Julie. But as a kid, I think I was 3 or 4 years old. And I was always listening and hearing these conversations about my mother, my father, my grandma, my aunt. They're all talking about this Julie Green, who they had used for years for interior decoration and ordering crap for the house. And they always used to complain about her, and she's lying about this. Oh, she lied. Oh, she said the couch was going to be here in October. It's now December. The couch has not arrived. So they always were talking about Julie Green, and she's lying about this, lying about that. So the story is that Julie Green comes over to our house, and I don't know why they just didn't fire her. Get a new freaking interior designer.
A lot of times you have a different energy behind somebody's back.
Oh, yeah.
As you do to their face.
So this is up in Nanuet, New York. We had left Bayside, Queens, and my parents bought their first house, actually summer of 69. Just played the song. Summer 69, we moved up to Nanuet, New York. I was 3 years old, and I think I was between 3 and 4. And Julie Green came over to our house, and I guess I was introduced. Oh, hi, this is Todd. And, oh, this is Julie Green. I said, are you the lying Julie Green?
That's great.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's right.
My mom said, my mom turned white as a ghost.
Yeah, I mean, we have whole conversations with the children about what not to say to people.
Right?
Hey, don't mention this when you see this person.
Are you the lying Julie Green? And then you heard the story about when my mom was having, was it Mahjong? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
That stupid game.
I don't play it.
Mahjong.
The Asian
Yeah.
dice game?
Anyway,
or-
that was a big deal up in Rockland County back in the early 70s. So one night I woke up in the middle of the night and somehow I sleepwalked downstairs, and it was Mahjong night at my mom's house with all of her friends. They're seated around the kitchen table playing, and I just unzipped and I just whizzed in one of my mom's guests' pants and lap and everything.
Okay, these are all really random stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know how we got here.
I don't know that we need to be a therapy for you.
It's random stories with MJ. All right, back over to our little scare this morning.
Yes.
And we didn't know where our traffic guy was, and very uncharacteristic, we couldn't find Schreiner, who does our traffic reports, and Schreiner was MIA. No one knew where he was. He missed his 5:42 traffic report. All the stations in the building are like, oh, my God, what happened to Schreiner? And they're calling him. No one can find him. Anyway, he surfaced. We don't know the story on, why he disappeared, but we did have him for the 610 report just a few minutes ago. But this got us discussing about, radio stories or, people that you can't get a hold of. And some of these stories end really, really badly. And then Fester, he dangled the little teaser in front of us that there was some story that you're aware of.
I can't remember the guy's name. When I started in radio, I used to work with Gary McHenry, dubbing traffic reports
in the Coca-Cola Sky Cruiser.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Gary
So,
McHenry.
My first gig was working with Gary, and I would always show up late for this job. I mean, always. I mean, you had to be like at 5:30, and I never woke up at 5. Yeah, I never woke up at 4:30 to get to a place by 5 in my life. Completely foreign to me. And the program director of the radio station, or at least the assistant program director, was Sue.
Sue Tricus.
And Sue would take me to that little...
Now the executive producer for Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Good for her.
Yep. And
So-
used to be the executive producer of the Schnitz Show for many, many years.
I love Sue.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I love Sue. And she would take me to her little smoke pit of an office where there was a cluttered desk and a big monitor that she would play Tetris on, right? And an ashtray pile.
All she did was smoke that played Tetris all day.
And now she's a big executive producer of a national show.
Yeah.
And she would need somebody.
Well, hold on. Were you saying she was not a big executive producer of my national show?
Well, I mean, you know.
Hey, I had 82 affiliates at one point.
You're no George Norrie.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. I mean, that's
Oh, no, he's
no, you're not.
Go ahead. Tell
So
me the story.
anyway, but she was like, "You gotta get to work on time, damn it!" And I was like,
While she's smoking and playing Tetris.
and she's smoking with one hand and playing Tetris with the other, and she's amazingly talented woman in that capacity. And she's like, and I was like, well, I gotta get here as soon as I can. I'm trying to get here. I'm coming up with whatever lame excuse I can to save my $6 an hour radio job.
Right.
And she's like, I want you to know how seriously I take people being on time. Do you have any idea how much I worry if you're not here? It's like my mother scolding me or something.
Right.
And she said, we had in Sue voice, we had an anchor for like the AM morning show who didn't show up to work, and they went through the normal protocols of worry. Oh, he overslept. Oh, maybe he's sick. Oh, and he had an accident on the Crosstown Expressway coming in.
Hold on. Are you talking about the guy that drove into a propane tank at a gas station?
Maybe. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, this story was yelled at me 30 years ago. I mean, it was not like it was a conversation.
No, there was a guy that used to be a talk show host on WFLA named Dick Norman. And he got into a car wreck at it was somewhere out in Brandon.
Yeah, because it was coming in that way.
It was not on the crosstown.
Okay.
It was somewhere out like in Riverview or somewhere out there. And he got into a car accident and he got clipped in an intersection. He veered off the road and drove into a gas station parking lot and apparently went full speed into one of those big, giant Tylenol-shaped propane tanks. And it just blew up like a bomb. Yeah, I think that's the story you're talking about.
I think that might have happened like in 94.
No, much earlier than that. It was, hold on, Andrew has the story. Go ahead, Andrew.
Norman died in a car crash in 89.
Yep,
in Brandon.
It was Dick Norman.
Okay.
I never met him because I got to Tampa in 94. That happened in 89.
Okay.
So 5 years prior. What does the story say?
He had been doing the show with Lassiter was on.
Oh, Bob Lassiter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another legend.
Yep.
And Lassiter was doing the show as they waited for him. And they even made a joke about him not being on time.
Oh, geez.
And eventually GM had to come in and break the news.
Holy crap. And is the story, what are you reading from? Is this like an archive piece from like the Tampa Tribune?
It's a radio discussion
Oh, wow.
site.
Does it talk about him veering off the road in Brandon into a gas station parking lot, into a giant propane tank and blowing up like a bomb?
This does not go into those details.
All right, well, apparently that's what happened. Holy crap. Hey, Fester, you saw the breaking news. Holy crap. Dollar Tree has sold Family Dollar for $1 billion.
So many dollars.
That's a lot of dollars.
Yeah, in one sentence, that's a lot of dollars.
So,
wow.
Why wouldn't Dollar Tree keep Family Dollar? Why? Too many dollars?
You know what? I am of the belief that Family Dollar is the third or fourth place dollar store.
So your favorite is what?
Dollar Tree.
So your favorite is Dollar Tree.
Yes.
Then
there's Dollar General.
Dollar General.
Which isn't a dollar store, but it has dollar in the name.
How about $50 to make you holler? I get paid to do the wild thing.
I don't even put that on the list, but
right.
that's up there. $50, eh?
The Dollar Tree has announced that it... Dude, it's a Tone Loc song.
I know.
Yeah. Dollar Tree has announced that it has reached an agreement to sell Family Dollar in a $1 billion deal, ending the short-lived merger that it believed would help the company compete against its larger growing rivals. So wait a minute. So Dollar Tree merged with Family Dollar or bought Family Dollar thinking that that would help propel them to the top of the dollar pile?
See,
but it didn't work, so now they want to what? They want to jettison it?
Dollar Generals, the yellow sign with the black lettering, they're popping up like warts all over town. I mean, all over the country.
Like a chlamydia outbreak.
In the last 10 years, I think Dollar General opens up like 6 stores a week, every week.
It's insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't matter what back-ass country road you're on in the middle of freaking Mississippi or Arkansas. There is nothing for miles, and suddenly, boop, Dollar General.
Yeah.
In like some dust-filled parking lot.
I mean, there's a large portion geographically of the country where that's the grocery store. That's what serves the community.
You don't have 8 people within 36 miles, but there's a Dollar General.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought you'd be very interested that Dollar Tree is spinning off Family Dollar.
My big question is what's going to happen to the Dollar Tree Family Dollar combo stores?
Oh, that's right, because some of them have the 2 logo. How does that work anyway? Was there a big partition down the middle?
It's like KFC Taco Bell.
Oh, okay. Do you order from the same counter? You know what? I don't know if I've ever been to a combo KFC Taco Bell. Just getting rolling here, folks. It is 6:33. Hey, Andrew, don't I have some live spots here? I don't see any lives in my I know I have lives here, so let me know what they are. Jam those things back in. All right, so I've got a big pile of early morons in the news next. So early morons, a superb pile. This has been an odd show start today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
It's
all right.
But listen, I don't care. Listen, mix it up a little bit. Who doesn't want a surprise every once in a while? Just kind of weird content to start the show today. But we will get on track. Morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. Time for the Morons. Every single day, there is no shortage of these imbeciles. We call this our self-help help session of the day. Why? Oh, why give me a look?
What do we call it? The self-help?
Yeah, Morons in the News is your self-help section of this program. Because no matter how bad things are going for you, there's no way in hell that things are worse than these idiots in the news. Yeah. That's why it's a self-help session here on the MJ Morning Show. Out of the Village's news. Gotta love the Village's news. Girlfriend apparently blames her boyfriend. Can I ask what that rustling is over there? Michelle, are you like, what is that rustling noise?
Yeah, Michelle, what is that rustling noise?
Usually it's Fester opening up food wrappers.
Is it usually?
Usually it is Fester opening up food wrappers.
I don't know.
It is Fester opening up Pop-Tarts.
Hold on. Is that you?
Yeah, it's actually, I've Pop-Tarts this morning.
What is your deal, dude?
Andrew,
foil wrapper.
I better apologize is right.
Yeah.
Michelle, I apologize to you.
You came right at her, too, bro.
Because Fester, you were talking to me, and it didn't seem like you were focused on opening up a foil package of Pop-Tarts.
I'm.
Can you please hold those Pop-Tarts up to the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the foil wrapper. Here's the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Good frosting coverage.
No, it's not. Look at what is going on.
I mean, they don't do cover to cover. It's really just a center, but it's
no. Hold on.
Adequate.
Hang on. Stop. We have talked about this in the past. What the hell has happened to Pop-Tart production technology? First of all, they've shrunk the Pop-Tart.
Yes.
The Pop-Tart used to be like, I don't know, 30-40% bigger? The Pop-Tart, shrinkflation, all this crap. I got a couple of items on that we'll get to later on. But the Pop-Tart, it is so noticeable that the Pop-Tart used to be so much bigger. And the frosting coverage used to be a lot more even. Now, Fester, hold up that Pop-Tart. It's like it's heavy toward the bottom, and then, or if I saw it the other way around. Look how that is it's like a 3-year-old put that icing on the Pop-Tart.
I'm not going to argue the age or the quality of the person putting it on, but
that
that's
is
a reasonable coverage,
no,
dude. Look, it's the back perimeter.
Look
is
at it.
Empty, and then
that is
frame.
the slop. If you're watching MJ TV right now, this is the sloppiest application of Pop-Tart frosting that I've ever seen.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy. Look at this thing. It goes all the way to the bottom, but then it's more sparse at the top. then it's just uneven. There used to be a point where they applied the frosting so there was a perfect perimeter, that if you took out a little tape measure, that you would have the same distance on each side of the frosting perimeter.
I don't need a Pop-Tart Picasso, man, all right? Listen, if it's on there, so their machine's off by like, what, an eighth of an inch?
But
Big deal.
I've seen some of the, you'd think that, why was Pop-Tart technology for applying the frosting better when I was a little kid than it is today in 2025?
Because they had children in a sweatshop painting it
Will
on.
you stop it? That is the most...
Okay, you know what?
What?
You are getting so violently, reactionary over there to a food that you never even eat. Like, why do you even care about the Pop-Tart?
You went ballistic on me before I went to the Philippines to go scuba diving because I opened up your raspberry Pop-Tarts in the pantry.
Yeah, because you never eat. Like, I can't even remember the last time I saw you eat a Pop-Tart. Why would I?
Because
think you're gonna eat one?
I had a hankering. I was hungry. I wanted something sweet, and I saw your Pop-Tarts on the shelf in the pantry. I'm like, you know what?
Really? Because they were up high. I don't know how you saw them.
Oh, you stop it.
I put them way up high.
Yeah, okay, great.
Out of
So
reach.
I saw the Pop-Tarts, and I said, I haven't had a Pop-Tart in a while. I'm going to have a Pop-Tart.
But look at you. You're over there all violent and huffing and puffing about the frosting. You don't ever even eat them.
I'm telling you, I've noticed that the Pop-Tart frosting...
When have you noticed? Because are you inspecting Festra's Pop-Tarts every morning?
Because the kids, for years, and you have Pop-Tarts, and I've noticed...
No, the kids don't eat Pop-Tarts.
I will say there was a time, maybe in the teens, maybe after the Great Recession of 2008, that Pop-Tarts thought they could save billions and billions of dollars.
by shrinking the damn thing.
By shrinking the thing.
Like overnight, Pop-Tarts became like the size of a postage stamp.
And then by kind of skimping on the drizzle or the icing. And I think they've changed their ways. They have a new CEO.
They're sloppy.
CEO.
You don't know this.
Mr. Tart.
You're just making crap up.
An heir to the Pop-Tart family is now back in control.
It's owned by Kellogg. I think isn't it Kellogg?
I think so.
Kellogg product. All right, let me get back to morons in the news.
Yeah.
So, a girlfriend of this guy up in the Villages area apparently tried to blame the boyfriend for a domestic violence attack. Turns out she strangled and choked herself with a ratchet strap.
Oh man.
My God. You know those nylon like belts, and then you have those like brass colored like the ratchet straps where you ratchet something down on like a flatbed or something.
Yeah, 2 pieces of heavy duty material with hooks on the end.
Listen to this. Oh, here's this town again where I think I mispronounced it, and 38 people tried to email me to tell me how to pronounce it. Ocklawaha. Ocklawaha?
Okay. Small town.
Yeah, O-C-K. Man, a lot of crap coming out of this little small town. An Ocklawaha woman was arrested for battery after choking herself with a ratchet strap, but then blaming the boyfriend who was in the process of ejecting her from the house. You know, like kicking her out. Like, I don't want to be your boyfriend anymore. Get out of my house. So in order to get back at him, she takes a ratchet strap, puts it around her neck, and ratchets it to make it seem like he choked her when she choked herself. That's maniacal.
Mm.
A deputy responded to an undisclosed Marion County residence around 10:35 a.m. Saturday. According to the arrest report from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, a woman was heard screaming in the background of an open 911 call before it was disconnected. So they immediately, all 911 hangups, they dispatch a deputy. You know, even if they don't even have a precise location and they just have like a basic cell tower area, they'll send a unit to the cell tower area. That's just standard protocol. Upon arrival, the deputy met with 31-year-old Alyssa Provancher at the front door of the residence. It looked like she had been crying. He asked her to come into the yard to talk. She agreed. Provancher advised of a verbal altercation with her live-in boyfriend of 2 years. The victim, and then stated that he was throwing her personal belongings out of the home. She claimed that he had been in a bad mood for 3 days for an unknown reason and became upset when she refused to leave him alone as he requested. So she stated the victim did not touch her. she was asked where he was, and she stated he was inside. She quickly followed this by saying that he did not want to speak with law enforcement. Prevancher had what appeared to be a scratch mark on her neck that she stated was not an injury. She eventually admitted her neck was scratched when she was trying to get stuff from the victim because he was throwing it outside. She would not explain further, so the deputy went to speak with the victim. The victim advised that Prevancher had been awake for several days, believing that she had relapsed from a methamphetamine issue. Of course it's meth-related. He began looking through her things for narcotics and found meth inside a plastic bag. He flushed it down the toilet. She became pissed, yelled at the victim, asked him why'd he do that. He went into the bathroom, and she threw a feather pillow at him. It hit him. He threw it back at her. This damaged the seam and scattered a few feathers around the room.
That's some pretty good police work there.
This is a great narrative. The victim was angry at Prevancher for bringing the drugs into his home, so he started tossing her property out of the front door, telling her to leave. She grabbed a nearby ratchet strap, wrapped it around her neck like a noose. She pulled and twisted the strap using her arms to pull it tight and choke herself. The victim told Prevancher that she was going to kill herself. He felt that she was seeking attention, ignored it anyway. So Prevancher then wrapped her legs around the victim's waist and her arms around his neck as she tried to smack her stuff from his hands. What a mess. So she's trying to kill herself. Then it goes into she's trying to blame him for choking her out. And she's applying the ratchet strap to her own neck?
So much fun in Okawakalaka.
It all started as a pillow fight.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
A little playful pillow fight.
Couple of feathers came out of the seam.
Right.
My God. The stuff that happens, folks, however bad you think things are for you, unless you're in a similar situation like this.
Unless you have a ratchet strap to your throat.
things...
You get help somewhere.
Hey, Michelle, what do you say we introduce a ratchet strap into the bedroom?
Okay.
What do you think?
No.
Where do I go for a good ratchet strap? Do I go to like
Harbor Freight, dude.
or Tractor Supply,
Tractor
maybe?
Supply, yeah, all those kind of places.
Home Depot too, yeah.
Home Depot,
Lowe's,
you pay top dollar for a ratchet strap. All it is a ratchet strap. You save a few bucks at these discount stores.
So
really?
if Michelle and I want to get into ratchet straps at the house, I should go to Harbor Freight?
Well, I mean, if you guys are really going to enter the life of RSP, ratchet strap play, I would recommend it. Yeah, I have a coupon where if you buy one, you get a free flashlight. So.
Oh, my God.
Harbor.
Oh,
all right.
Man. All right. Six. That was a long Morons on the news story, but man, the details were just phenomenal. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, the 7 o'clock hour starts. First up, are you going to build this bug-out bag that you're talking about? What is this with bug-out bags?
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
I mean, should we build one?
Well, all right. So Michelle gives me a story. But where do you find this? Like, was it like Wall Street Journal? There's a story. Do you know what a bug-out bag is?
Yes,
All
I
right.
have one.
So there's a whole. You have a bug-out bag?
I've always
All
had
right.
one.
All right, hang on a minute. All right, we got to talk about bug-out bags when we get back in just a minute, among many other things. Stand by. Also, Andrew, are you aware of the latest Disney controversy and lawsuit? Andrew, our producer, knows everything Disney. He's an adult Disney freako, all right? And that's a good thing, by the way. I mean, it's the happiest place on earth. Well, not in this particular case, but we'll fill you in next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM, and we'll also bug out next. Stand by. My friends... 1 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ, Fester, Michelle. The 2 o'clock, the 7 o'clock and the second hour of the program starts right now. And, of course, we have the 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ starts about 7:25 this morning. No commercials, no music. It's just nonstop content for over an hour and 20 minutes. No one else does this. Let's dive into the bug out bag. So, Michelle, where do you see this thing? Do you have the, hand me this article.
I did.
All right, here it is. All right, see, wait, was this Wall Street Journal? No, this was, I don't know what the hell this was.
Popular Mechanics or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. How to build a bug out bag even if you're not a prepper?
Yeah.
So.
Popular Science.
The bug out bag, that has been more associated with like those conspiracy or end of the world or disaster preppers, right?
Right.
Now, yes.
Yeah.
But the suggestion is that everyone should have a bug out bag?
Yeah.
What do I need a bug out bag for?
We'll read the article and find out.
Where why do you fill me in? Why do you have, Michelle? I've been married to you since 1994. Do you have a bug out bag that I'm not aware of?
Of course.
No, you don't.
I think like to know.
The evolution of the bug out bag is...
Yeah, why don't you fill me in on the evolution of the bug out bag, Fester?
I learned about the bug out bag from my uncle who had a sketchy criminal history.
Oh, is this the one that was connected up in New York?
He always carried like a smaller duffel bag with like 3 days clothes, couple $100 in cash,
toothbrush,
things you would need for personal care. Little pistol in there.
Oh,
you know,
wait,
in case you
did you just go?
Yeah,
a little pistol in there.
In case you ever had to get the hell out of town, right now.
What?
Right now.
What?
Yeah.
What family was your uncle connected
it's
to?
It's not a matter of a family or anything like that.
I want to know what. I like that stuff. Which of the 5 families was your uncle connected to?
I'm pretty far out on Long Island. The families aren't everywhere. There's a lot of low key, really low level guys running scams that could probably get you capped at any time. But if for some reason my aunt would call him and say,
"Is your uncle still alive?"
No, he's not still.
What was his first name?
Vito, Uncle Vito.
Get out of here! Get that!
So-
was really?
Yeah, so if my aunt would call, my aunt Josephine would call Vito and say, Vito, the car is circling around the block. I think they're looking for you.
Oh.
Vito knew to somehow get in touch with his bug out bag to get the hell out of town and then call the kids later and say, Daddy's not coming home.
Lay low for a couple of days?
Couple days, couple weeks, couple
So
months.
your aunt, Vito's wife, knew to look out the window and the car was circling. The guys were looking for him. So what did your uncle do that had the guys
just
looking for him?
His hustles, I think it was involved in some, some wagering. They both on the taking bets and the making bets.
Some bookmaking?
Yeah,
Uncle Vito.
You're just into stuff.
How did Uncle Vito die? Was he capped?
Natural causes.
Oh, it was natural cause.
Remember, he's like, I beat them all, sons of bitches.
Oh.
But listen, a bug out bag is something that you have that's ready to go. If I said, MG, we got to leave town in 30 minutes. Let's go. If something went down or we were involved in something where our lives were in danger,
Right.
or we had to get out right now, are you prepared to leave town in 30 minutes?
All right, so
No.
here's the story. Michelle found this. I didn't find. Michelle found this from Popular Science. A bug out bag, a prepackaged, easy to carry survival and,
Yes.
and evacuation kit.
See, but
that-
now they're changing to survival kits. They want you to have a compass,
Yes.
a tent. My Uncle Vito's not going to
How about
tent.
a stick and flint?
Seriously, that's what they want you to have. They think you're going on like Survivor or something.
The survival, easy to carry evacuation kit lets you leave at a moment's notice. It should contain pretty much everything you need to spend up to 3 self-sufficient days away from your home.
Yeah, but not at a hotel. Like 3 days away from your home in the
Like
field.
in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Then the article even has good bug-out bags you can buy, like the Yeti Ranchero 20-liter. Or the High Sierra travel bag, steel gray.
Which one do you want?
I'm fine with, I love my Peak Design backpack.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a backpack right there,
If you're
man.
carrying a Yeti anything, it's not a bug out bag, okay?
I'm looking at, like, actual picture where to keep your bug-out. You know what we ought to do? We ought to go to phones here. Let's go to MJ Morning Show listener lines and ask our listeners, that's you folks, about your bug-out bag. Do you have a bug-out bag? What is in your bug-out bag? How long have you had a bug-out bag? Do you have bug spray in your bug-out bag?
I mean, if you've had it for a long time and you're not opening it, you may want to check it.
All right, let's go to phone. I'm just curious how many of our listeners have bug-out bags. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Do you have a bug-out bag? What's in it? 800-990-1047. Call us now.
Well, can I just point out? Did you look at the items on the list? Because some of them I think are appropriate for our hurricane preparations. And one of the items that was interesting to me,
Like a weather radio?
well, there is a hand crank radio on there,
Batteries for flashlights?
but also a Pelican wallet, which I never even heard of this brand before, and you know why I now know of it now.
The Pelican cases.
Yes, but it's a Pelican wallet. Look at it; it's literally a wallet.
I'm
just
looking
for
at
money
it right now.
And
I had no idea that Pelican, they make the hard plastic cases for like electronic gear.
Yeah.
A lot of military applications use those hard Pelican cases.
right, and I only know of this because of Julian, but they make a wallet.
I might or might not have a Barrett 50 cal in a Pelican
Okay.
case.
So, but it's a security case, right?
But you had to walk in the water to get to the car
Right.
when we had the last hurricanes
Dude,
in October. This
I had
Pelican
to-
wallet would have been good for
I had
you.
to walk a mile in waist-high water to get to Kennedy and West Shore to get a ride across the bridge during the hurricane.
Did you have to make any notes? Because there's a right in the rain pad in the bug out bag recommendations there.
So let me go through the communication navigation. So NOAA weather radio. They recommend an Eton Odyssey hand crank radio that doesn't even need batteries.
Yeah.
You can just hand crank the thing. Here's a compass, signaling devices. What am I going to signal a helicopter?
This bug out
I mean,
bag.
I've got a mirror in my. I carry a safety sausage. I have a Nautilus GPS. When
Carry a what?
a safety sausage?
Did you say a safety sausage?
Yes.
Well, in case you get hungry on the
That's
run?
right.
This
I
is
forgot.
this is for my scuba diving.
That's ridiculous.
Wait, in case you want a snack?
Fester.
When I when I scuba dive, I have a little pouch that is attached to my diving vest, my BCD. I've got a little pouch. I've got a rolled up Dan safety sausage. I've got a signaling mirror. I've got a Nautilus GPS device.
What the hell is a sausage? Is it sausage?
No, it's yeah.
Is it like a beef jerky stick?
It's Jimmy Dean's sausage
I don't know.
in my scuba.
Okay, that's ridiculous. Vest. Jimmy Dean's typically raw.
No.
Is it like beef jerky?
A safety sausage. It's a bright red, rolled up, 6 foot long. What are you laughing at?
What are you going to? To like a bachelorette party or something?
If you're on the surface of the water, I have a signaling sausage that extends like 6 feet up in the air that you can signal boats that you're like in the surf. You're like floating at sea. It's got reflectors on it. It's a safety device for scuba divers.
Yeah, I got your signal.
It's called a safety sausage. All right, hang on. Let's go to phones on the bug out bag. Michelle, look what you've started here. All right, so it is recommended that everyone has a bug out bag, sunscreen. I mean, all kinds of crap.
This is a really primitive bag. I mean, my bug out bag is like just have to get out of town.
What about do you have an emergency whistle? What if you have to
No.
Guess what? I have a whistle on my scuba vest. Yes.
You need to code to somebody. Some.
Yeah.
What do they call
I'm
that?
trying to avoid drawing attention to myself.
And if you need any safety scuba devices, go see my friends at Tackle Shack in Pinellas Park.
All right.
Joe in Apollo Beach. Joe, are you a bug out bag prepper?
I was a bug out bag guy before they were bug out bags.
Right.
Really?
But after hearing about the sausages, I might just fill an entire duffel bag full of sausages and replace all my bug out bags.
Right, it's not a real sausage.
I mean, it sounds delicious, doesn't it, Joe?
Joe, how long have you been a bug out bag guy?
So I would say since I was like 16. So I'm from the north, from up northern Illinois.
Yep.
And whenever you started driving, you kept a backpack. My first one's like a Jan Sport guy from Goodwill for $1.
Yep.
Backpack in the back of your truck or car or whatever you got with some food, with some candles, with some stuff to get you out in case you got stuck in the snow, like a shovel. Just basic survival stuff because that happens out in the country up north, and you want to be prepared for it.
Yeah, he's right. I remember there's like a big blizzard that hit like Wisconsin, and the woman was eating like peanut butter that she kept in the back of her car.
I remember
for like 3 days.
My grandfather always had a gallon of water in the trunk in case he got stranded in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, you never know.
Even though he lived in,
right now,
even though he
I
lived
got a
in,
case of water.
even though he lived in Lake Worth, Florida. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a case of water in the back of my truck right now. Now you don't want to drink it because it's going to taste like straight up plastic, but it'll get you through if you're trying to survive.
Life or death situation.
Joe, thanks for the call. Vicky is in St. Pete. Vicky, do you have a bug out bag?
Yes, I do. In the trunk of my car. I live in St. Pete, and especially with the most recent hurricanes and storms, I had to evacuate, and I wasn't sure where I needed to go. And growing up, I was a Girl Scout, and I always had, a pack in my trunk or around for it to be like a bedroll and some candles and matches and things.
Yep.
Now I've got to.
But when you put it in those terms and when you really just think about it, it does make sense, because we always are told to have a hurricane preparation kit. We're a couple of months away. Hurricane season starts on June 1, goes to November 30th. They're saying it's going to be an active year again this year. The early forecasts are out from AccuWeather, et cetera. So, it does make sense to have a preparation kit. But when you think of a bug out bag, you think of you got to run from the cops or something. You got to run from the mob. Or, you think that we're about to get, nuked by the Russians or something. That's what I've always thought of. Hey, Vicky, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, guys.
All right. Or the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Mike, and 2 more calls, then I got to move on. Mike in Lakeland. Mike, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hello.
Hello. Good
Yes.
morning. I have 2 bug out bags.
Why do you have 2 bug out bags?
Right. One of them's full of MREs.
Oh, meals ready to eat.
Yep. And the other one's full of stove, saw, rope, trauma bandages, first aid kit.
Tourniquets?
Yeah.
Yep, I have a tourniquet, filtration straw.
All that stuff.
All right. So, Mike, tell us, why do you have the bug out bags? What are your concerns?
Civil unrest.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to get off the grid for a little while, Mike, I mean, you're good for a week at least.
Yeah, I got enough to keep alive for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you know where you're going to bug out to?
I do.
What, like Ocala National Forest or something? Where?
It's a secret, though. I can't tell you.
Damn right you can't tell us. All right, Mike, thanks for the call. All right, one more call. Tom in Plant City. Tom, tell us about your bug out bag.
Hey, so I worked in Afghanistan for 13 years,
Oh, man.
and I always had a bag ready to go. Had a map like the other callers, MREs, water, with 2 routes planned to evacuate in case the base collapsed. One going through the north through Mazar Sharif, and the other one going towards Pakistan and the Sarobi Pass. Had shovels and water, $10,000 in U.S. cash.
Oh, wow.
And because you can buy your way through.
Yeah, you can bribe the Taliban, right?
Well, not the Taliban, but definitely border patrols
Okay.
in Pakistan.
Taliban's pretty dyed-in-the-wool.
Yeah, okay. All right, maybe so I must. Wow,
Some
Tom.
indigenous clothing.
Yeah, but Tom, we're not talking
Yeah,
about...
that's hardcore bug out right
We're
there.
not talking about the middle of
Yeah.
Afghanistan. I mean, if you live in the middle of, like, the Alafaya River, that's a different
So,
story.
so
You know what I
Tom,
mean?
listen. So, Tom, you're not in Afghanistan anymore. Do you have the same bug out bag in Plant City? Because when you got to get out of Plant City, you got to get out of there.
I do not have anything other
See?
than a hurricane bag.
All right, Tom. Thank you, buddy. And were you a contractor? Or did you serve in one of the?
So after I retired, they called me back and asked me to come back as a contractor.
Right.
So
Holy
it
crap!
was,
All right,
yeah, they had to end the war to get me out of there.
all right, Tom. I guess you saw a lot of crap over there. Tom, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the call.
No problem.
All right. All this from Michelle's article that she handed to me on how people are building bug out bags at a higher rate than ever.
I think you would be more suspicious about why I am reading popular science.
Why are you reading popular science?
What are you
Would like
building?
to know?
What are you building, Nietzsche?
Hey, so the happiest place on earth has sort of an unhappy story here. Andrew, are you aware of the? Let me just test Andrew. This is something that I found last night. I'm doing my prep. I have not had a discussion with Andrew, our producer, but Andrew.
2-year-old story, but go ahead.
Andrew is an adult Disney freak. Andrew, are you aware of the latest Disney lawsuit? Yes or no?
It goes back 2 years, but yes,
Oh, it does. It goes back to 2023, but the lawsuit was just filed.
correct.
Sometimes it takes a little while between an incident happening and a lawsuit being filed.
So what is it about?
It is about a former employee
Yep.
who took upskirt photos.
Oof. Yep. That's it. That's awful. Look, I can't get anything Disney past this guy. Look in the producer's booth. Look what he has. He's got like an 8-inch Disney Mickey Mouse statue in there. Look at that. You can see. Take a shot so people can see it on MJTV. Yeah, hold it up to the window on either Fester's camera or Michelle's camera. Can you hold it up? You got it? Look at that. Look at the Mickey Mouse. So here's the deal. Lawsuit's been filed against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts in connection with a 2023 investigation into a former Florida employee accused of filming up the skirts of female guests. What's the matter with you? In the lawsuit, the plaintiff, a family member, one of the alleged victims, claims that Disney failed to take sufficient action to protect the theme park guests from being subjected to the alleged video voyeurism of the former employee, Jorge Diaz Vega. Well, how would Disney know that you got some sicko? They employ tens of thousands of people. You're going to, in any walk of life, if you're employing that many people, you're going to have a couple of pervert sickos. And what? And now he's blaming his autism for shooting upskirt videos. Yeah, let's see how that works out.
He's on the spectrum of video shooters.
He's on the spectrum of shooting up women's skirts.
I'm on the creep spectrum.
Oh, my God. Anyway, I can't get anything Disney past Andrew. Anyway, I don't see how that's Disney's fault. Well, if they knew.
Supposedly they did. That's what the lawsuit alleges.
Oh, I didn't see that part. Tell me about that, lawyer.
That's how they
Who
can.
knew? What, like Walt knew?
No, when the husband confronted him.
It's me, Goofy. I knew about it. He used to show me the videos on his phone.
Goofy, we have to sit down and talk about your obscured videos.
Okay, Mickey.
Oh, wow, it's really getting out of control.
Yes, go ahead, Michelle.
He was fired for this type of thing before.
Oh, I didn't
so if
see
they
that.
had checked his employment record, or
oh.
called a previous employer, then they would have known.
He wasn't fired from Disney before. He was fired from somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Like Arby's?
Yeah, Gatorland. What's the story, Andrew? Where was he fired
Where
from?
was he fired from? Do you have it?
Turn them on the air.
Turn your mic on.
Yeah, I don't have him having been fired from someplace else, but reportedly there was another cast member who reported him previously.
Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, well, listen, if they were aware of it, then that could be problematic.
Well, if you see something, say something.
Thank you, Mickey. All right, 7:19 at the MJ Morning Show. The great spaghetti debate is next. If you do this to your spaghetti, you're a child. Do not. I read a whole thing on adult spaghetti eating. And if you do this to your spaghetti, something's the matter with you. Okay, that's on the way in just a bit. Oh, also, coming up in just minutes, the clean trick. Women have a sneaky little trick to see if a guy is cleaning stuff. Wait till you hear this sneaky little clean trick. That's just a couple of things. And we got like 100 things coming up because we do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105 Tampa Bay. Don't move. What, toddler?
She cuts it up. Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, thank God that didn't rub off on you because I would have never married you. Or if I discovered this after the marriage, that would have been grounds for divorce.
Annulment.
Exactly. So why do you want this marriage annulled? Because my wife is cutting up her spaghetti like she's 3.
Granted. Yes. The court concurs.
So ordered.
Yes.
Your mother. Have you ever said to your mom, "Stop doing this"?
No, because I think I used to do it too, because that's the way we did it.
Yeah, when you were 3.
You
Well, right.
But wait a minute. You have an Italian side of your family.
But like you were just pointing out, we didn't eat spaghetti or angel hair. We usually ate rigatoni or ravioli.
Yeah, or a pasta. Yeah.
We ate
a
real
macaroni.
right.
All
right.
Should we go to the spaghetti eating phones?
I don't know.
Should we go to the phones and ask for adults that cut up their spaghetti into like 1-inch pieces?
Why? So you can insult them?
Yes.
No.
Damn right. Yes. I want to berate them.
No.
I want to do spaghetti berating on the MJ Morning Show. It's a new feature.
I think what you're doing is putting a lot of people on high alert to watch other people eating spaghetti now.
But yes.
I agree, Festa.
At Italian restaurants or, too bad the Spaghetti Factory is not an Ybor anymore.
That was a good place.
Yeah, the Spaghetti Factory. You could watch them make the was there a factory that actually made spaghetti? I was there once. Michelle, we were there once, like early on when we came to the Power Pig back in the early 94 when I first started the Power Pig. We had some dinner at the Spaghetti Factory, and I think it was like I think it was the one and only time I had ever been to. How long has the Spaghetti Factory been gone from Ybor?
8 years?
Has it been that long?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe 10 years?
Maybe longer.
Maybe 10 years? I don't know.
If any adults, I don't want 4-year-olds to call up, but that might be entertaining. If there are any adults that would like to add to the spaghetti discussion, I was reading a story on spaghetti eating lessons, and folks, the way you eat spaghetti, and if you'd like to weigh in, if you'd like to buzz us up on the spaghetti phones, it's 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you have anything to add to this spaghetti eating discussion, you never, ever, ever cut your spaghetti. You take your fork, you roll it into a small, manageable ball. If you want to use a spoon, you can use a spoon, and you shove it in your mouth. Eating spaghetti is not supposed to be a neat and clean operation. Obviously, try not to stain your shirt and get spaghetti sauce stains all over the front of your wife beater. But listen, try to, but you don't cut the freak. Look at the phones, every line. Every single line is lit up here.
Are these angry people who cut their spaghetti? Or
I don't know.
All agreeing with you? What's the deal?
I think we're going to find out. I'm sorry. It was the Spaghetti Warehouse. It was not the Spaghetti Factory.
It was the Spaghetti Warehouse, yes.
And Andrew got a call saying, tell MJ to get his facts straight. It wasn't the Spaghetti Warehouse. I'm sorry. It wasn't the Spaghetti Factory. It was the Spaghetti Warehouse. You sure it wasn't Spaghetti Depot?
Could have been. That was down the block.
Spaghetti Depot. All right, we got to go to phones on this. Don't cut your freaking spaghetti. Jack in Tampa. Jack, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? What's up?
So if you're cutting up your spaghetti and you're an adult, you belong in prison. That's it. You belong to be locked away, throw away the key, and never eat spaghetti again, ever.
All right, Jack, when's the last time you saw an adult cut up spaghetti like for a 3-year-old?
I can't even tell you, honestly. If I saw it, I'd probably take the spaghetti away.
That's a good thing.
Call the police.
Thank you, Jack. Let's go to Joe in Tampa. Joe, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, brother. I'm a long-time listener, long-time caller. I've talked to y'all. I've won money off y'all's program. I cut my spaghetti up.
Oh, Joe, come on. Joe, why are you cutting up your spaghetti?
Because I got all my damn teeth knocked out. And I work 7 days a week. I don't have time to go get no damn new ones.
So you would be a caller that if I asked, hey, do you have all your teeth, you would say no.
No, I got about 2 of them son bitches left.
Yeah. Which 2, Joe? Which 2?
Oh, yeah, at the bottom.
2 in the bottom?
Yeah, right in the front.
And how'd you get your teeth knocked out, Joe?
Oh, I used to scrap a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
You should have thought about that when...
Take no shit. I'm 59 now, so I calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still get out there with the young bucks if they want to go, and I'll give them a run.
That's right, Joe. Good for you.
What a call. Joe, thanks, man. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, y'all. Have a great day.
Call again. You're now Two-Tooth Joe, okay?
Okay.
That works, brother.
All right, Two-Tooth Joe on the MJ Morning Show. Debbie in Lithia. Debbie, can you believe every line is ringing on my spaghetti conversation here? Debbie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Deb.
Good morning. Yeah. It's important stuff. They all want to talk about it.
It is.
Yeah. You have to leave it whole, and you have to twirl it with a fork and a spoon.
Yeah, you got to leave it whole. I don't use the spoon, so Michelle is a spooner.
Well, because we're Italian. Yeah.
So Michelle likes to spoon her spaghetti. I'm able to just find the right amount, twirl it on the fork,
right,
and then come up with a nice, like sort of like a hairball of spaghetti.
Oh,
A delicious hairball.
Yeah, a delicious hairball. So that's the way I do it.
I've had to do that when there's no spoon around, if I'm at someone else's house or whatever. But no, I'm with Michelle. You have to use a spoon.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it nice and neat, and it puts it, it keeps it on there.
All right, but Debbie, you agree. You never, ever cut spaghetti.
No.
Yes.
Never. Unless you're, like you said, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Debbie, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Every line, when line drops, it's filled up already. The spaghetti phones. Christina in Port Richey. Christina, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning. How's everybody?
We're great. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Okay, so for the record, I do have all my teeth. But I am a fork twirler for my spaghetti, and it was a lot of fun as a kid. Now, I really enjoy angel hair pasta, and that's the only pasta that I absolutely cut up because I love Alfredo sauce. And in order to enjoy that Alfredo sauce, I find that I have to have it cut up in order to have every bite as a delicious bite.
With the proper coating of your sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Christina, are you Italian?
I am Italian and Cuban, so I know about good food.
Well, you're damn right you do. Thank you, Christina. Deanna in Clearwater. Hey, Andrew, just cut off the calls here, man. Let me just finish up what we have on the board. I got Deanna, Emery, Kendall, and Shaver. Deanna in Clearwater, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Hey, good morning. I got to say you just destroyed my image of spaghetti with a hairball.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's pretty accurate, though.
I know, right? I grew up with manners, and proper etiquette is you cut up your food before you eat it. So I'm a spaghetti cutter-upper.
No, you don't do that. You don't like grab a pork chop and like grab it with two fists and like shove it in your face. You cut the meat, but you don't cut spaghetti, Deanna. Thank you. Emery in Tampa. Emery, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, good morning. I don't cut my spaghetti at all. I eat it normally, but I wanted to tell you a quick story about the spaghetti warehouse you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Went there with the family one day, and I ordered a lasagna. Lasagna is very soft. You don't expect anything hard to be in lasagna.
Yeah.
And as I was eating, I clamped down on something on my molar, and I was like, what is this? And I pulled it out. And take a wild guess what it was. You know those big long tubes of meat that they order in, and they're clipped off with metal clips at the end?
Oh no! Yeah, they have that like big like
an industrial meat staple,
like a staple. Yeah, If you go to the supermarket now and you get the hamburger in the tube, it's sealed off with like that metal clip.
Yep, I bit right down on one.
Did you get lasagna for free?
Oh yeah, I got that, and and they paid for a crown for my molars.
Oh really? Hold on, you broke your molar at the spaghetti warehouse?
It put a crack on it.
He had to go to the dental warehouse.
Yeah, right down the road next door.
They gave me a card, and I went to the dentist and saw what I needed. And
hold on, they had a dentist that they had a recommendation for people that damaged their teeth?
No, the manager gave me the card of whoever I needed to call that represented the spaghetti warehouse.
Oh, yeah,
from spaghetti warehouse.
I'm not going to the spaghetti warehouse dentist.
I thought this happened so often they had a dentist on standby.
Oh.
All right.
No,
somebody call Dr. Jim.
I wanted to say, MJ, if you've never been there, if you've never been to Osteria Natalina on McDill Avenue in South Tampa, you need to try that out. It's a 100% Italian restaurant.
Yeah, we've been to that's Sparky's old place. That used to be Spartaco, and it was a couple. Then it was named after his mother. Was it a different? Yeah. So I have not been there. It's right next to Yoko's Japanese on South McDill.
It is.
Yeah. So I haven't been there in a while. I probably need to stop by. All right.
Their bread that they give you before your dinner with the like grinded up olives and the olive oil. Yep. Oh my goodness, it's to die for.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, 2 more calls. Kendall, can you believe this? Kendall in Port Richey. Kendall, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Good morning.
Yes.
I definitely cut my spaghetti because I am not 2 years old and I don't want to wear it.
There's a way to eat spaghetti without getting it all over your clothes. You can't be an adult and cut up spaghetti, Kendall. Shame on you.
Even if you twirl it, it still gets all over your face and drips on your shirt.
Well, then you're eating like a Tasmanian devil then. I mean, come on. All right. Kendall, all right, last call. Shaver, Clearwater Beach. Shaver, MJ Morning Show. Hit it.
Hey, how you doing? I'm originally from Baltimore, and we were sitting in a restaurant, 4 of us, and a guy said, come on, Shaver, let's go down to this restaurant. It's a great place to eat. It's a great Italian. So I'm like 25 at the time, but now I'm 73, so this is 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And we go in, we sit down, and I order spaghetti and meatballs, and the other guys I'm with, they order stuff. And the guy across me starts cutting the spaghetti, and I kind of knew not to do it, but the guy that owned the restaurant picked the plate up and threw him out. We had to leave.
I love it.
He said, you do not cut spaghetti in my restaurant. Get out of here. So we all had to get up and leave.
That's a restaurant where I would absolutely go. Thank you very much, Shaver. Yeah. Great phone call. Thank you. Great way to end the discussion. Man, who the hell would have thought that every line would have been? And they're still going. Andrew's turning calls away now. So I got to move on. All right, is this creepy? The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I stumbled across a celebrity news story last night. Well, the story to begin with is creepy, but am I adding creepy to creepy with something I did?
That's almost what you do best.
What? you think I'm a creepy piler honor?
You make things more creepy sometimes.
So I found a story about Elizabeth Moss. Now, Fester, do you know who Elizabeth Moss? And she spends time in town because she's she's one of the, she's a Scientologist, right? I had an encounter with Elizabeth Moss. I don't know much about Scientology. I know a little bit about Scientology, but, not my thing. But she comes to town because, the last I saw, she was a Scientologist, and she was on one of my flights from LaGuardia down to Tampa because I'm sure she was going over to Scientology. That was back in 2017. Now, hang on. There's a little side story here that I want to bring up. But first, Elizabeth Moss, who, if you don't know her, she was the secretary. She was Don Draper's secretary in Mad Men, one of the greatest television series ever.
Okay.
Yes.
This is my problem with you.
What?
That is your reference, is she was a secretary in Mad Men?
She was also in The Handmaid's Tale.
She was not in it. She's like the one.
Okay, and she's this. I'm going through her list.
She's the handmaid.
You would start with this.
Right.
You would start with most recently.
She was the star of Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, so
yeah,
which I couldn't.
Overall, she is a very tough person to place. I mean, she looks like just another blonde actress.
No, she's not. All right, Fester, that is not true. She has a distinctive look.
Yeah, big forehead.
She has,
Look at her forehead in Wikipedia.
Fester, stop.
Look at his forehead.
Listen, she's a very, very talented actor.
She won Miss Forehead America 2013.
Fester.
Oh, like what?
Here she comes.
Like Denise on Saturday Night Live?
Miss Forehead America.
She's beautiful, Fester.
That's what the judges said.
She's very, very attractive.
With a huge forehead.
So what?
Right. I'm just saying, she has a huge forehead. A beautiful, huge forehead. I mean, no, you're making mean jokes.
I'm not making
You're making mean jokes.
And I'm Jeannie.
So she does not. She's
you know who her ex-husband is?
No, who's her ex? I haven't even gotten to the story yet, or my creepiness.
Who was the host of the show that Denise would play her character on?
Oh my gosh, Fester.
Who's the SNL actor who is the host of the show?
Oh.
Welcome to the Finger Lakes.
Oh yeah, that was Fred Armisen.
Her husband from 2009 to 2011.
They were married?
Fred Armisen.
Hold on.
Thought of Denise while looking at her big ass forehead.
Elizabeth Moss was married to Fred Armisen?
From 2009 to 2011, the years that Fred Armisen came up with Denise. Just coming home every night looking at that gigantor forehead.
Listen,
he's like, there's a bit here.
Fester, let me tell the damn story, please.
I think Fester's onto something.
Tell a better story than mine now. Go ahead.
Well, we got to get to your cake story in just a second.
Oh, I love this girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you got to hear the cake story. Oh, we got the cake lady story. Oh, we got something brewing. We got some cake stuff brewing here on the MJ Morning Show. All right. The Elizabeth Moss story is... She revealed that a crew member on The Handmaid's Tale asked to keep her character's underwear.
Ooh.
Why would you ask? That's,
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to steal that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. Elizabeth Moss, 42 years old, revealed that she, I guess...
What year did The Handmaid's Tale come out? I've never seen this movie. It's not really...
No, it's a show on Hulu.
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
It was, what was
You
it
wouldn't.
on?
I think it's on Hulu.
Yeah, it was like, is it still on? Is Handmaid's Tale
I think we're
done?
coming up to the final season now.
So Michelle and I, we started to watch it, and that's another one I just couldn't get into it. Now, did I not? What I watch? 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and
I think you watched 30 minutes of one episode, and you were like,
yeah, I'm out.
And so then that was it. I
But
couldn't watch it.
man, but I love Mad Men. Oh my, she was great.
Okay, but you can't keep referencing her just for that particular.
All right,
she
all
has a wide look. She was on Law and Order.
Was she like a dead body in season 20?
Maybe
episode
The
6?
Practice.
So-
she was on The West Wing.
Elizabeth Moss revealed in an interview that she asked for her character's underwear as a keepsake after the final season of The Handmaid's Tale finished filming last month. So I guess it's yet to air. But then she was told that an unknown crew member had already asked for her undergarments. What? Say what?
She didn't have the first right?
I think it's part of the what do you call the costume. Like because it's a dystopian story, remember, and so like you have to wear certain
Is it like
garments.
the magic underwear or something?
Yeah,
or?
it's something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
All
And
right.
so it might be like it's like the red shoes from The Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Well, I would not necessarily be doing this story if I had not taken a picture of Elizabeth Moss using the bathroom on a JetBlue flight from LaGuardia to Tampa International Airport in 2017.
There's MJ making it creepy.
See?
But I did help her mother out. She talked to me. So I was in the aisle. We were on JetBlue. I have the exact date. It was Friday, June 30th, 2017. This was during the New York stint. And Michelle, I think you were already in town that week. I think you had already come back from New York and you were at the house in South Tampa. And because you were back a whole ton. I was flying back for the weekend from New York. And right next to me in the aisle was Elizabeth Moss and her mother. They were headed to, I would imagine, Scientology in Clearwater because she's a Scientologist, or last I knew of.
How did it come up in conversation?
Well,
I'm Elizabeth Moss.
No, I knew it was her. I recognized her.
The big forehead?
No, you stop it with the forehead.
I mean, it's a telltale sign.
I knew it was Elizabeth Moss on the JetBlue flight.
Okay.
And as we were boarding, her mother was with her. And her mother was trying to lift up this heavy carry-on bag to put in the overhead. And I said, let me help you with that. And I lifted up Elizabeth Moss's mother's suitcase, and I put it in the overhead bin. And that's when Elizabeth Moss said to me that, thank you very much. Chivalry is not dead. But if she knew that I snapped a picture of her going to the restroom... would she take that statement back?
I take it back, you pervert.
No, she would just call you the chivalrous creep.
I wanted to show...
That's what you are.
I wanted to show people that, hey, I was just on a flight with Elizabeth Moss. I loved her in Mad Men. And I don't know, have I ever shared the picture? I just shared it. I just put the photo up on my Instagram. This could be the first time I've ever shared this. So this is from, I just posted it this morning.
You say from June 30th, 2017.
Yeah, it was Friday, June 30th, 2017, because it's on my camera roll. It's got a date stamp on it.
What's creepier is that you've held on to this in your camera roll for almost a decade.
Yeah. Professor, can you even recognize her from this angle?
So the first comment on this Instagram post from Kenny FSU, I completely agree with. I've seen Bigfoot photos more clear than this. I mean, he is exactly right.
It's on my Instagram. If you want to see Elizabeth Moss, I think she's coming out of the bathroom.
Great.
So you can see I'm in aisle seat number. I'm like in the third or fourth aisle row, I should say. I'm in the third or fourth row on this JetBlue flight, and you can see her. She's wearing shorts. She's wearing like pink or salmon-colored tennis shoes.
Yeah,
she's got a gray hoodie on.
Yeah, she's traveling. She's wearing traveling clothes.
You can it is, I swear it's Elizabeth Moss. And I post, if you want to see this, it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and I turned it into a reel. So I have a little narration. Hang on, I'll play the narration for you. Let me just bring up the audio here. Listen to this. All right, and... Moss using the bathroom on my JetBlue flight on Friday, June 30th, 2017. Right. Actress Elizabeth Moss using the bathroom on my JetBlue flight on Friday, June 30th, 2017.
Okay. Your voiceover on that reel makes it even creepier, dude.
Right, so
no setup at all. Right. No reason why it's up there. No context.
Right.
Elizabeth Moss using my toilet on June 30th, 2017.
Hang on, let me shut this off.
You can't stop it.
But I can't stop it. But no, but if you read, you need to read the caption as well. Hang on a minute. I also got to accept it as a. Hang on, I got to accept it as an MJ Morning Show invite. Hang on.
Heavens forbid we deprive those people of seeing this riveting content.
I got to accept the invite. Yeah, and I've been invited to collaborate.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that right now.
Need some help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Where's Julian when you need him?
I know how to do this.
I don't know. It's taking you a long time to just click a button or two.
I know how to do it. Certified MJ Radio invited you to collaborate. Okay.
Collaborate.
But it's not letting me. It's not selecting. Anyway,
Maybe
so
I'll
figure it out. All right. So I read the caption. I captioned it, MJ Morning Show, Q105 Tampa Bay. On June 30th, 2017, I was flying from LaGuardia to Tampa on JetBlue, and actor Elizabeth Moss was on my flight. Was this creepy for me to take a picture of her going to the bathroom? I also helped her mother put her heavy bag in the overhead compartment, and they called me chivalrous.
And then you take a picture of her coming out of the can. I mean,
and then they called you the chivalrous creep.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, now, moving on. We got to talk about this cake lady. Oh, my. Fester, how did you find this?
So, you know how...
Do you have audio to play? Is there audio?
I sent some to Andrew. I can play some off of her Instagram
Yeah,
page.
yeah.
But some of it, you got to be ready on the trigger. Once in a while, she'll slip a word in there.
Andrew, do you have some of the audio ready to play? Do you have some? Okay, hold on. Andrew has put the audio bites on my my button bar, on my sound wall here. All right.
So, on most straight men's Instagram suggestions, whenever you hit suggestions, there's models. Right? There's bikini babes. There's Instagram models on.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Listen, I don't follow these people. I don't search these people out. But I get all of these, like, these women in, like, short skirts and all these leggy, tall women show up in my... But I'm not searching this stuff. I don't follow any of these people. Why is it showing up in my suggestions?
Instagram brings it to me.
Exactly.
So... One thing I do follow a lot on my Instagram page are cooking videos. My Instagram page is mostly twerking videos, cooking videos, and day trading videos. That's about it.
Fester showed me this yesterday. I'm like, oh, my God.
So this person is a combination Instagram model and
cake baker.
Cake baker. And she bakes beautiful cakes. I don't even know what her name is. It just says cakes on cakes.
Cakes on cakes. She's the cake lady.
Yes.
And she bakes cakes and then sits on them? That's her deal?
You can pay her. You send her money. You can sponsor a cake. You can tell her what you want to make. She makes beautiful, high-end baker quality cakes.
So we can have her make a cake that says MJ Morning Show.
Yes.
104.7 FM Tampa Bay.
And you can tell her how you want it. You can tell her what colors, and she will do everything to honor your request.
But we have to pay her?
I don't know what the fee is.
How much is that going to cost?
I don't know.
And then she'll video it, and she'll sit on the MJ Morning Show cake?
Yeah, and she has a link tree site where you can buy merch, and you can request a cake. And then
Festa, reach out to her, start a conversation, talk to her, tell her we're a morning show, and we want to get an MJ Morning Show cake. How many followers does she have, by the way?
Let me go back to her page.
Yeah, go back to her Instagram page. 161,000. She's got I'm scrapping to get to 25,000 followers, and she's sitting on cakes, and she's got 161,000.
She is talented. Not only is she an amazing baker, she has cakes to put on cakes.
All right, hold on.
If you know what I mean.
Andrew, so she's calling her ass cakes as well? So that's the whole cakes on cakes.
Andrew, play the beginning of one of her videos.
I've got it right here. All right, here. Let's listen.
What's up, my buttercream bitches? We're back at it with another episode.
Yeah, everybody's a buttercream bitch. I love her.
I love it.
I love this woman.
This is her occupation. This is her business model.
It sure is. It's working out that way.
Let's listen. Cakes on cakes. Listen.
What's up, my buttercream bitches? We're back at it with another episode of Cakes on Cakes, where I take that big derriere and I crush some cake with it. But first, we gotta make it. Today's cake is going to be sponsored and going towards Chris. Happy 40th birthday, Chris. I appreciate you for supporting my work and my page. He specifically asked for a Hulk-themed cake, so that's going to be our theme for today.
All right, stop you.
A what cake?
So the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, an Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos where people have requested Lego cakes or Star Wars cakes or Mardi Gras themed cakes, and she will do her absolute best to make a cake that is as true to your request as she can. And then she sits on it. But she goes through the whole baking process.
And she smushes her butt all over the cake.
And I'll tell you, the 95% of the video is her making the cake and the presentation of the cake. And then at the very end, she pays it off every time.
But how much does it cost? Okay, how much do you have to pay her?
We'll click on the button.
Yeah, so she has a page where you can check stuff out. It looks like $75 to get started, and then there's a couple of add-ons. So maybe call it $100 or maybe $125.
So she'll make a cake and sit on the cake. She'll sit on an MJ Morning Show cake and put it on her social media for maybe $125.
It's $75 to start.
Right, yep.
Do you want sprinkles? That's $4.
Okay.
Do you want cake toppers?
Well, no, I need big graphics. I need it to say MJ Morning Show. So and I'm not listen to me. I'm not talking about the wispy little the little happy birthday Sally that you get at Publix Bakery. You know, I'm not talking. I want like a big block lettering MJ Morning Show. Tampa Bay.
If we tell her what we want, and first of all, she's pretty booked. I mean, she is.
What do you mean she's booked?
She's popular.
Well, how long is it going to take for her to make an MJ cake and sit on it?
I will reach out to her today.
Yeah, you got to talk to her. You got to get her on the phone.
And become friends with her because she is awesome.
You got to befriend the cake sitter.
And this is what. And she makes. And now I will tell you, she also has an OnlyFans page, where for $14.99 a month, you can watch her shower the cake off of her.
You know what I never understood?
What?
Why when you befriend somebody, you become their friend, but if you behead somebody, you cut their head off?
Okay.
I never understood that. Anyway, go ahead.
That's a really good point.
Damn right it is. I'm full of good points.
So she beheads these cakes with her caboose.
Oh, man. All right, let me listen to the rest of the audio.
Greens, big on the purples, that sort of thing. I did run out of purple melting chocolate, so I had to make my own and mix some purple. No, I mixed blue and pink and made my own purple, so ta-da. Added some little, combination mixes of some purple and green frosting, some little festive curly cues.
All right.
Added some little Hulk decorations like the birthday topper, some little mini Hulks. Again, happy 40th birthday, Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting my work and my page. Here's the full cake. Hope you enjoy how it came out. I did have fun making this one. But you guys know what's going to happen. We're going to take this nice big old Hulk cake and we're going to crush it. He did specifically.
We're going to crush it.
And she does it with every video. She crushes it.
Andrew, just give me an ISO of crush it.
And she is great. And then, she'll make it as close to like you want it as possible.
Oh, man.
And every video starts with her caboose and she waves to the camera. And by the end of it, she is sitting on a cake.
It's our new cake lady.
She's so cute.
And she's cute as a button, and she's amazing. She's a talented creator.
And I'm gonna get that T-shirt, Buttercream Bitches.
Yeah,
Buttercream. Does she sell it?
She has merch. She has a merch store.
She sells a Buttercream Bitches shirt.
Yep.
All right, here.
Request that the inside be purple and green marble, so I did just that. Again, happy birthday, Chris. Thank you very much for supporting my page. Thank you, fans, followers, all of you guys. You are really the best. Until next time. Bye.
And then
she squats on the cake.
She pops a squat and puts her big butt on the cake and just squashes it and smushes it to bits.
But if you went to a baker and they said they'll provide you this cake that she's making right now for $125 or $150, you think nothing of it. It's a work of art.
Yeah, she's making some nice cakes.
Yeah.
She really is making a nice cake.
But nobody eats them.
Wow. She just sits on them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, Michelle.
Yeah.
I think we know where this is going.
Fester's going to sit on a cake.
Yes. So, Michelle, I want to hook up with this lady and get her to sit on an MJ Morning Show cake.
That would be the highest honor this show could ever receive.
Absolutely. But, Michelle.
What?
You know how to bake. You make a decent cake.
It's not going to look like that.
Admittedly. However, we could give it our best effort, right?
Listen. Fester. Now, you get funky on certain things.
I am
there are
all
certain
for
things.
this. I am all for
well,
this.
that's all I need to know.
This is. Sign me up.
There are certain things that you have refused to do on the MJ Morning Show. Not many.
Sign
not many.
me up.
A couple of things you refused to do over the years, and you're telling me right now if Michelle starts baking cakes. And maybe we have listeners.
Look, she removes one slice of the cake so you
Right.
can see what the inside looks like.
Yep.
She only eats the cake, not the icing. You know, keep her figure.
Is that right?
Yeah. Look, she'll sample it, and look, here you go, piece of cake, no
Right.
icing. I've watched every one of her videos, and then here
And
she's
then
at the,
here she goes and
Crush it.
oh
and
my!
she sits on the cake.
Oh man! And then she wiggles her butt with cake all attached to it.
Fester.
Crush it.
Okay, you have to practice that move. You see how she did a special little shake, and then also the position of the cake is not, I mean, it is right up in there.
It's up there. I mean,
Yeah.
she is a pro's pro.
Oh
I mean,
man,
she
she's
is
really
good.
getting it.
You better practice this.
That cake is getting wedged up in there good.
I can't wait to
Oh, yeah.
crush it.
Crush it.
Yeah. So this
Crush it.
and I don't know her name. I don't think she has her name on. So I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen all of her videos. She'll say,
Fester.
"Hey, this is so and so."
Dude, your
Oh, it
job today is to get her on the phone. We got to talk to her. Book her for an interview tomorrow morning.
I want to. I will.
Her name is Brianna Large.
Okay.
Brianna Large?
That's what it says.
Large?
Did I stutter?
Yeah, I mean, okay, that was her name. Her name.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm just-
I mean, maybe it's large because of that big ass.
All right, get her on the line. We got to get her on the show. I want to talk to her. We're going to buy a cake from her, have her sit, and then we're going to take her concept, and then we're going to do Fester sits on cakes.
Fester's cakes on cakes.
Yes.
And then you can eat a piece.
We can have listeners in the studio, and after Fester sits on the cake, then you can grab forks and dive right in. You can eat off of Fester's butt after Fester sat on the cake. Man, I tell you, this...
I love her.
This is award-winning. See, this is Radio Hall of Fame stuff
Are you
right
gonna
here.
buy? Yeah, let's submit this piece of audio to the Hall of Fame.
To the NAB Awards.
Are you gonna buy one of these? Are you gonna buy one of these buttercream bitches shirts, Meech?
Oh,
I think so.
Look at her. It's great.
I love it. Fester, you've got your work cut out for you. Let's go, because on tomorrow's show, I want to...
Crush it.
Yeah, crush it.
We are fans.
Oh,
Yes.
man, this is fantastic. All right, moving along to the cleaning trick. I mentioned this some time ago, but we've been very, very busy for the last, 35 minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. We're in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. No music, no commercials, just nonstop content. So thank you very much. Spread the word about the MJ Morning Show. If you know somebody that's suffering through some other crappy morning show and you work with them or you know them, tell them to check out the MJ Morning Show here on 104.7 FM, or we stream on all the apps. All you got to do is search for Q105 Tampa Bay, and you can listen to us on your phone, on your computer. Go to mjmorningshow.com, click on Listen Live in the right-hand corner, upper right, and you can listen on your computer speaker. So many ways to listen to the MJ Morning Show. All right, on to the cleaning deal. A woman is revealing a little trick that she has to determine whether your significant other is actually cleaning when they say they are cleaning. Let me lay this out. So, husband and wife, husband says he's cleaning stuff up. The wife wants to know, is he really cleaning stuff up? Do you know about the trick? Michelle, have you ever heard of this? The trick, this is a woman and her hack, and this is how she can determine whether the husband is really cleaning stuff up, whether it's the kitchen, whether it's the bathroom. In many cases, it's the bathroom. The husband, like, kind of, contributing to the chores and cleaning, around the toilet and just doing some. What are you giving me a face for?
Because when is the last time you cleaned a toilet?
Yeah, I mean,
or even said you cleaned a toilet?
Not other than you using the restroom inside, there's not too much domestic about you.
Yeah, I'm not doing much of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so here's the deal. This woman, her name is Chrissy, and do you know what her trick is to determine whether her husband is telling the truth as far as cleaning up areas around the house?
I don't think it's a trick. You just watch. You just use your eyeballs and look and see.
There's a trick.
Does she put like little sex coupons under things?
What do you say?
That's a great idea.
Let's say
if you clean this, I'll give you that.
Let's say I'm gonna, tell my wife I'm gonna clean the area rug.
Clean this, get this.
Yes, and then underneath the area rugs there's an envelope with a free, ticket in there.
And then she'll know.
But if I don't redeem the ticket, it can be sitting there for years. The new owners could find it.
No, that's not what it is. So Chrissy's little trick is, she puts a little bit of glitter.
Oh.
A little bit of like the fleckily, sparkly. She puts a little glitter down, like around the toilet or areas that should be cleaned.
Stop.
And if the glitter is still there, it means that he's lying.
That's not true because glitter, as we've discussed, is notoriously difficult to clean up. So it doesn't even matter. He could actually clean, and there's still going to be like a couple of pieces of glitter.
There's going to be a time not far from now when she's going to wonder why she's divorced.
Yes.
And this is the reason.
Agreed.
I mean, if this is the dude, if this is your wife, leave her now.
I like your idea better with the coupons.
Yeah, I left some glitter by the toilet. You didn't clean it.
Chrissy, she secretly sprinkled magenta glitter under the toilet seat, the bath mat, and soap dispenser on the sink counter to see whether her husband was really cleaning.
And for what purpose? Is she going to reprimand him? Is he going to sit in timeout?
Yeah.
Now he has double duty?
Double duty.
MJ, seriously, my old lady tries to put me together with some glitter I didn't wipe up. Hit the road, Jack. Call my lawyer. He'll be in touch.
This is an angry 21-year-old son. So a 21-year-old kid or young man, angry at his father, guess what he did to daddy's car here in Florida? Yep, it's a Florida story. This is from Jacksonville Beach.
I mean, there's so many things he can do to a car. I mean, did he like pour sugar in the tank, or did he blow it up? I mean, what?
Nope.
Did he key it? Did he flatten the tires?
It's closer to blowing it up.
Oh,
no. Jacksonville Beach police said that a 21-year-old man drove his father's car into the ocean on Wednesday morning yesterday because he was angry with his dad, according to a News 4 Jacksonville. News 4 Jax. Officials said the father allowed his son to borrow the car, but he didn't return it. Police said that around 1:15 a.m., he drove the car to the beach. So he drove it to Beach Proper North in Jacksonville. He tried to use a cinder block to send the car into the ocean, but the block kept getting stuck under the brake. He then removed the block, got into the driver's seat, turned on all the lights, and made sure nobody was nearby as he drove Dad's car across the beach right into the ocean, into the Atlantic off Jacksonville Beach. The arrest report said that while driving, he grinned and wished that he could point his middle finger at his father and aunt. That's in the police report. He grinned and wished he could point his middle finger at his father and aunt, or aunt, if you prefer. He left the scene, returned to his mother's home. Cops found him because his father pinged the location of his phone. He was not injured, but he was charged with felony criminal mischief. His father has pressed charges. And the father is reporting a loss of $6,500.
That's quite the car.
I don't know what kind of car
Does
it
it
is.
mention what kind of vehicle it is?
Well,
It was a,
there's a picture. It looks like is it a Volvo?
A silver hatchback of some
Yeah,
sort?
It looks like it's a Volvo wagon. How is that not more than $6,500?
Maybe it's old.
I don't know.
Because
It doesn't say
that's
the year.
totaled. That's totaled.
Yeah, when you drive into the ocean.
Does your insurance cover if your 21-year-old son drives your car into the ocean?
Did you see the mugshot?
Yeah.
He's got crazy eyes.
Yeah, he does have crazy eyes. Yeah, bring up the mugshot, Fester. Yeah, go to News 4 Jax. That's where bring up the mugshot.
What an idiot. Is this like a farmer's commercial in the making?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Bump, bump, bump,
Bump, bump, bump. Yeah.
It's not collision.
Yeah, this is the next J.K. Simmons commercial. Is this the audio from News 4 Jax? No, that's not it.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, that's not it.
All these news sites have too many ads.
Yeah, there's too much crap on there, man. Just too much. But is that covered? Is the father's is his comprehensive insurance going to cover
Yeah.
your own son vandalizing your car and driving it into the Atlantic Ocean at Jacksonville Beach?
Do you have to disclose to your insurance agent how it happened?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's in a police report, dude.
Do you have to tell them that a police report even exists? Can't you just
Yes.
call, call J.K.
Yes.
J.K. Rowling? Who's the farmer's?
J.K.
Who's a farmer's person?
J.K. Simmons.
Who's J.K. Rowling? Rowling.
She was the author of Harry Potter.
I've been getting that wrong for years.
It's great.
I had no idea.
All right. You know what a story is just, it's not supposed to be funny, but it is funny.
Okay.
Let me read you the headline. And tell me if you don't just crack up at this headline from Fox 59 in Indianapolis, Indiana. Indianapolis Zoo president has his hand bitten while feeding chimpanzee.
Oh no.
That's just funny. The Indianapolis Zoo has confirmed that its president and CEO suffered an injury while feeding a chimpanzee last week. In a statement sent to Fox 59 CBS 4 Tuesday night, the zoo said President and CEO Rob Shoemaker had his finger bitten while feeding a chimp through a mesh barrier. Tell you what, could have been worse. Remember Travis the chimp up in Connecticut?
Could have been a lot worse.
Holy crap, man. That is some of the most disturbing audio I've ever heard in my life. I'm not going to play it ever again. Well, I can't say that. But if you want to hear the most disturbing thing you've ever heard, go ahead and just YouTube search or Google search
Travis the Chimp 911.
Yeah, just Travis the Chimp 911 call. Oh, Fest, you found the audio for this?
This is from 13 News Indy.
All right, here's another station up in Indianapolis. Hit it, go.
We can now confirm the Indianapolis Zoo president was treated after getting bit by a chimpanzee. We're told Dr. Rob Shoemaker was feeding a chimp last week through a mesh barrier when this happened. The video you're seeing here is before the chimp exhibit actually opened. Zoo officials tell us the chimp bit the tip of the president's finger. It reportedly happened during a standard feeding interaction.
Yeah.
Officials tonight telling us that Shoemaker got medical care and has since recovered. The chimpanzee is also doing okay.
Did the chimp bite his finger off? Did the chimp chew on the CEO's finger?
It sounds like it just gave him like a hard bite squeeze and didn't remove any digits.
Hey, let's open up the chimp feeding to the general public.
Seriously. So here's the deal. The people who work with the chimps every day, the zoologists and the trainers and the people that care for the chimp, they know how to feed the animal. The guy who works in the corner office, CEO guy, he has no idea what he's doing with this.
Yeah.
Michelle, did I tell you about my brother on our flight back from Taipei, Taiwan last weekend?
I don't think so.
So I've got a story, and you'll be able to figure out where I'm headed with a personalized version with my bro. Passenger lost phone on aircraft. The plane was forced to turn around mid-flight.
Oh, no.
Because you know what the concern is? That the phone is jammed in the seat. They can't get it out. And if the seat moves, it could cause a puncture, could cause the lithium-ion battery to go up like a fire starter. Oh, my God. This was an Air France flight from Paris to Guadeloupe, or Guadeloupe, I don't know how the French say it, forced to make a U-turn after a passenger lost their phone. Air France 750 had departed Paris, had flown out of France over the English Channel en route to the French-owned Caribbean island of Guadeloupe. And it turned out that an hour into the 9-hour journey, a passenger reported losing their phone in the seat. Extensive search. Crew could not locate the phone. This was a Boeing 777-300, 375 passengers on board, 12 crew.
What a mess.
They had to make a U-turn, go back.
really don't understand
So
that.
maintenance could find the phone.
Why?
Yeah,
I just told you because that's protocol. Have you
How's
ever
that protocol?
Hold on. Have you ever heard? I've heard the announcement. I know I've heard this before.
No.
That if you lose the phone in the seat, do not try to move the seat. Because one of the concerns is that you puncture the phone, you puncture the lithium-ion battery, and the next thing you know, you've got backdraft at 35,000 feet.
The seat moves all of like 2 inches back and 2 inches forward.
No. It's a lot of times it's the business class seats and the first class seat. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is, guess what happened to my brother coming back on our EVA air flight from Taipei, Taiwan to Los Angeles on late Saturday night?
He loses everything, so I'm surprised he still had the phone with him in the first place. But, that's besides the point.
So listen to this. We land at LAX. We flew, you heard about my trip, or many of you have. We were on spring break. And hey, listen, maybe some pilots or flight attendants or mechanics want to call in. You know what? While I tell the story, if we have any pilots, flight attendants, aircraft mechanics, any airline workers, you want to call in about lost phones in the seat or something similar, call us right now. 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047.
What I want to know is, where does the phone go that it's causing a potential problem?
Let me tell you what.
I mean, just rip the cushion up.
Well, listen, let me tell you what happened. So we're coming back. This is on our trip home, spring break. Drew, my brother, joined me. We had 3 other buddies, 2 from Tampa, 1 from Jacksonville. We had a little group of 5 guys. We went scuba diving in the Philippines. And here's what happened. We're on our leg back to the United States. We had flown from the Philippines to Taipei, Taiwan, flew EVA Air, which is an airline that I've come to really like. Great prices for business class. And we're flying back. We had done our stopover in Taipei, the flight from Taipei, Taiwan to LAX. And upon landing, my brother's phone, we were in business class, and my brother's phone was on the little kind of countertop. He was not in like the middle, like me. We were on the single side seats in business, and he was a couple of rows behind me. His phone was on the little like counter area where you can place drinks and stuff. When the plane landed, and then the pilot hit the reverse and the speed brakes, and that you feel yourself getting thrown forward. The phone flew off and perfectly fell through a narrow slot of the seat in front of him.
Oh, no.
Went underneath the business class seat. It went underneath. This is a whole installation. It's a whole pod. You couldn't find it. So he's looking for it. Meanwhile, I can't hang around because, as you know, I had a really tight connection. I had to get out of the Bradley International Terminal and get over to Terminal 3 to get on the Delta Red Eye to Atlanta, then back to Tampa.
So you left your brother on his hands and knees?
I did. I had to. I'm going to miss my flight. I had a very tight connection for the Red Eye. And he said, listen, go. I tried to help him for a minute, and we couldn't. And he says, I can see it. So he's trying to use the safety card. The little emergency slide and all the evacuation information. He's trying to push the phone. He can see it.
In case of a cell phone emergency, use this card to push your phone through.
He couldn't get the phone.
What did he do?
Then the flight attendants, the Taiwanese flight attendants, they're all trying to help. Anyway, they had to call maintenance. So I get the whole story after the fact. And they had to call maintenance. It turned out that he was able to meet me because he was flying Delta as well. So we were able to see each other for just a quick moment before he had to take off. It took it was fairly fast. It was maybe 10 or 12 minutes. So it wasn't that bad. But his phone flew under the business class seat pod in front, couldn't get it. So what they had to do is the maintenance guy had to come on, remove the cushion of the footrest. And behind the cushion, that was Velcroed on. Then there was plywood. They had to use a driver, take 4 screws off, take the plywood off to get to the phone underneath.
That just sounds remarkably ridiculous.
That's the way it had to get done.
I mean, it's a lazy boy. You know, your phone falls in between.
Be glad they had maintenance working at the airport at 4 a.m. or whatever.
No. We landed LAX at 8 p.m. We touched down like 8:01 exactly at LAX on Saturday night. So, look at the phones. Let me grab a couple of calls here. Any pilots? Any flight attendants? Anyone else lose their phone on an aircraft? 800-990-1047. Oh, look, we have Roy. Roy's a pilot. Roy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Morning, MJ. This is Rory from downstairs in your building. But I follow you on Instagram, and I was watching you fly.
All right, so you're not a commercial pilot. You're a private pilot?
I'm a commercial pilot for 50 years.
Well, wait a second. Hold on, Rory.
Rory.
Rory downstairs.
Yes.
I know that you I know that you messaged me on Instagram. So what was your aviation background?
Well, I went after the Air Force. I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I've been flying for 50 years.
Wow.
Right? But I happened to be in San Francisco this day last week, and flying back here to Tampa, and I saw the seat card. It says if you drop your phone in there, don't try and retrieve it. And I couldn't put together why that was, right? Because I changed careers like a few years ago to become an insurance guy. So you explained that beautifully, and the lithium-ion battery would be the problem.
Yeah. They're worried about if you move the seat, if the phone gets lost in the seat and then you move the seat, you could puncture the phone and start a freaking fire.
Yes, exactly.
That's what.
And thanks for that clarification there.
Yep.
I didn't know. And I also saw you and Chloe flying back from Far East over there. You were on 777 and Cathay Pacific then, right?
We were on EVA Air again. So I took Chloe to Indonesia to scuba dive Raja Ampat.
Yes.
Last February. Yeah.
Yes,
we were. That's why I flew. That's why I flew EVA Air again, because it was so freaking good.
You mistaken MJ for another very short, awkward-looking man with a beautiful young woman.
Thank you, Rory. Have a good one. All right, Donna in Clearwater. Donna, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing well. Go ahead.
About 2 years ago, a British Airways plane with a full load coming into Tampa International, they were delayed. We did not know why they were delayed. After they were getting off the plane, the passengers started to talk about the hero being a male flight attendant, that somebody had lost their phone in the seat, moved the seat, it caught on fire.
Yep.
The male flight attendant extinguished it, and somehow, I guess, moving it again, it caught on fire again.
Whoa.
But they were able to get it off, and the passengers overall, I was impressed. They weren't all freaked out like you would think.
Yep.
Some of them were upset, but they all were just singing the praises of this male flight attendant, that he truly saved the flight.
Are you in aviation at Tampa International? How did you know this?
I used to work at Tampa International.
Gotcha. And this was a British Airways 777 from Gatwick, right?
Coming in, yep, full load.
Wow. And the phone got lost in the seat. They moved the seat, and the phone obviously was punctured, and the lithium battery did catch on fire.
Yes, sir.
That's why they tell you don't move the seat.
That's why.
All right. Listen, great story. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Yep. I see when I do my nighttime walks, I see the British Airways 777-200 come in all the time or depart.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Not really. I was mocking you.
I know you're mocking me.
Hey, MJ, you know what tonight is? Michelle's super excited.
Woo! We're going coast to coast.
Oh, no. March
Off the window.
March
Nobody says off the window.
Alley-ooping.
March. Yeah, I got to put up with Michelle screaming out all these dumb basketball terms.
MJ's doing a little shake and bake.
Taking it to the hole.
So March Madness is back. Listen, we have women's March Madness hits Amalie Arena. I think April 4th and 5th, right? What round do we have?
Do we have the finals?
I think we have the finals.
Do we have the finals?
The women's final four?
Yeah.
Which is big news.
It is.
Sports-wise.
Yeah, we'll have it here in Tampa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But, tonight, what we have, which one are you most excited for?
How many games are there? What are the matchups tonight for March Madness?
There are 4 games tonight, 4 games tomorrow. BYU, Alabama, Maryland, Florida at what time? At 7:30-ish. Arizona, Duke, and then Arkansas, Texas Tech is the late game.
I think I'll do Arkansas, Texas Tech, because, Duke is picked to win. Florida's going to stomp those Maryland, what do they call those people?
Turtles?
Turtles.
The Terps.
Yeah.
The Turtles. Terrapins, right?
Yeah. So I think that,
What a weird
what do you
name.
think, Fester? That Arkansas Texas Tech should be a good game, right?
That's a late game. That's a 10 o'clock tip.
Yeah.
So Michelle be watching that, screaming and keeping me awake. All right, yes.
Who's University of Florida? You see who they're playing, right?
Maryland.
Uh-huh.
Did you see what the University of Maryland's doing for their Are they the ones doing the commencement speech with the frog?
What?
Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah,
University of Maryland. I
hang
just
on.
thought of it. I saw it last night.
Yeah, hang on. I have that in the pile. Believe it or not,
gosh.
I have this in the pile. Kermit the Frog is going to deliver the commencement speech apparently at several universities, including University of Maryland.
That's awesome.
Say what?
That's great.
Now, hang on. So tonight we're in the Sweet 16 round.
Yes.
So this is Sweet 16, and listen, I don't give a flying crap, but my wife has turned into some kind of a sports psycho for some reason. 4
games tonight, 4 games tomorrow.
Yeah. Hang on, let me find the Kermit the Frog story. I had it buried here. Hang on a minute. I'm not kidding.
But University of Maryland and Kermit the Frog.
Hold on, let me find this story.
Oh, I do have an update on the
Here, how you found it?
the finger and the chimpanzee.
The finger chimp?
What's the
on Reddit.
update?
Somebody on Reddit anonymously posted.
All right, so for folks that are listening now and you didn't hear what happened just a little earlier, I was talking about the CEO of the Indianapolis Zoo was feeding a chimpanzee. I guess they have some new chimpanzee exhibit.
Wow.
And he was feeding a chimp through the cage, and the chimp clamped down and bit the freak out of his finger.
1, he was hand feeding inappropriate foods.
Yeah.
2, it was after hours,
Yeah.
and as Fester pointed out, he's not a normal person that's doing the feeding. And 3, she bit his finger hard enough to separate it from his hand.
Oh my God! Did they reattach his finger? Oh, so wait a minute. So this person on Reddit is giving a lot more information than what the news media has been told.
Yes.
Hold on. The chimp bit his fingertip off.
Yes.
Or bit a chunk of his finger off.
Yes. That's what they're
So
saying.
did the chimp eat the guy's finger? Or were they able to retrieve the fingertip and reattach it?
I don't know.
Man, this is scandalous.
Well,
this is not being covered properly on Indianapolis News Now.
No.
Yeah, they made it sound like no big deal.
And they said that there's also an incident a few years ago where an orangutan shattered the bones in the same dude's finger during an interaction, and he completely covered it up.
Oh my God! This is the second incident where the CEO of the Indianapolis Zoo has been bitten by an animal.
Yeah,
he better keep his wang in his pants.
Seriously,
I'll tell you that right now.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
Keep that.
Not with those.
Keep that wang in there, man. Anyway, back to Fester.
So University of Maryland put out an announcement hype video for their.
All right, let me hear this. Kermit the Frog. Go ahead.
I don't know how good the audio is. Here
All right, go ahead. Announcing your 2025 commencement speaker, environmental advocate.
That's true.
Best-selling author, Peabody Award winner, champion of creativity, kindness, and believing in the impossible. International superstar, amphibitarian, friend to all creatures.
I guess it's me.
It's University of Maryland commencement, May 21st, 2025. Kermit the Frog. We ought to have it. Kermit the Frog. I'm Kermit the Frog. Hello. Hey, I'm MJ doing Kermit.
You do a very good Kermit, but Fester's Kermit is better.
It's Kermit the Frog. Who's Fester? I'm MJ doing Kermit. Hello, it's Kermit the Frog.
Welcome to the Kermit the Frog Morning Show.
Oh, man.
A frog crunch.
Yeah, so apparently Kermit the Frog is going to deliver the commencement address at the University of Maryland. I mean, is that a slight?
To who?
After 4 years of college, you got a Muppet that's delivering?
Yeah, you and I probably wouldn't mind it, but I'm wondering if you're getting some, doctorate degree or something.
Right.
I think you're in with them. Are you really a Muppet is going to give me some aspirational?
What do you want to see?
Guys,
yes,
that's who they need.
The heckle Kermit.
They need to get. Hey, Andrew, just turn on your microphone. What
are their names?
Of course, Andrew knows the name of the old guys up in the balcony.
It's Statler and Waldorf.
Get out of here, really?
He's right. Yes.
Or they need to get the Mad Bomber guy. Remember Remember the Mad Bomber dude?
That did not age well.
It did not, did it?
I mean, Jim Henson was like on the mark, like 98% of the time.
But I think we all grew up watching Sesame Street.
Yes.
Did the current graduates? They're going to be 24. Does it resonate with them? Or 22, really?
Kermit's one of the iconic characters that I think has transcended generations.
You think so?
There's been Muppet movies in the last couple of years. So Kermit the Frog is the appropriate speaker to have at the University of Maryland.
Hey, Andrew, was there any audio to the naked woman that stabbed and bit people at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport yesterday?
There's no audio from Miss Piggy walking through the airport.
Oh, we have 2 minutes of audio.
2 minutes of audio!
A woman, listen to this. A woman stripped down to nothing and went after passengers at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Incident ended with her being placed on a mental health hold. Oh, you think?
That is just reprehensible.
Cops say they were called for a welfare check and determined that a woman identified as Samantha Palma in the incident report had suffered a manic episode that led to her allegedly stabbing at least 2 people with a pencil and biting a restaurant manager who was trying to subdue her.
Oh, my God. You know who the restaurant manager was?
Who?
The Swedish chef.
Oh, it was the chef. The
Swedish chef. There's no chicken anymore.
According to the report, she stabbed the manager with his own pencil.
That's awful.
As he tried to intervene, causing puncture wounds to his head and face. While her teeth broke open skin on his right forearm, causing immediate bruising. Police say Palmer was originally found behind an emergency exit at Gate D1 of Terminal D at DFW Airport with blood on and around her. An eyewitness told officers she stabbed someone with a pencil. Responding medics later confirmed the blood on her was not her own. Oh, my God. What causes someone to have a manic episode, break down, strip off their clothes, and start stabbing and biting people? You ought to see the images of this.
Yeah, the video is...
The video is really...
Yeah, the audio is not great. I mean, here's some of the mayhem.
No way, stop.
But the video, watching her like naked and through the airport, I mean, this is insane. I mean, she is literally wearing nothing, zero. No underwear, nothing. You know, she's got a nice figure, too. So she's got a nice body, but her I guess her mind is a mess. Yeah, there's a minute and a half more of this. I think that's enough. Can you imagine? Has that ever happened to Tampa International? Anyone ever stripped down to nothing and start attacking people at Tampa International?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Then we have a serial groper. I don't know what's going on in Texas. A Texas man accused of groping 2 women on past flights has now been arrested for allegedly touching another woman's breast during an American Airlines flight to Seattle. What the? Cherian Abraham, 55, was arrested following a federal investigation over an incident that occurred on March 18th aboard American Airlines Flight 2076, where a woman claimed that he groped her breast twice. According to the Dallas Morning News, the victim was not publicly identified, said the incident was traumatizing. The airline has issued a ban against this repeat offender. Well, good.
Is this the same guy? I mean, that can't be a common name.
No. So Fester found...
I don't know if it's the same guy, but I've never heard anybody named Cherian.
The guy is from North Richland Hills, Texas. Fester found
a profile page of Cherian Abraham,
a doctor, an MD, a gastroenterologist from North Richland, Texas, which I believe is in the Dallas area. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained gastroenterologist, I'm qualified to treat gastro. Is this the same guy?
Is it a son?
He's 55.
That's him. He's a middle-aged man.
I think that's him.
It might really be him. Maybe it's him. I don't know.
That is unbelievable.
I've just never heard the name Cherian before.
Yeah.
No, Cherian Abraham from Texas. It's got to be him. The story I have does not say that he's a physician.
So is he accepting new patients?
Oh my God. The incident occurred about 2 hours into the flight out of Chicago, with Abraham allegedly putting his finger on the woman's breast and rubbing it. Abraham claimed the touch was accidental as he was reaching for his baggage, but about 5 minutes later, he touched her breast again, yet in an alleged attempt to touch her nipple, the victim said. Another 5 minutes later, Abraham moved his hand under her arm and poked her, infuriating the victim, who had enough of his repeated touching. "Why the F are you touching me?" the woman erupted, according to the police affidavit. Abraham allegedly kept quiet and reached for his backpack and placed it over his lap, a move that one witness told police seemed unusual. A flight attendant confirmed that the victim got up, asked to be moved because Abraham was molesting her. When questioned by police, Abraham initially denied touching the victim until he was advised of the possibility of a witness. Abraham also claimed that he had never been accused of groping a woman on a flight before, despite having 2 previous incidents over the past 2 years. Records show that on April 24th, 2024, one woman filed an online complaint with American Airlines accusing him of touching her several times, including between her legs, as she yelled at him to stop.
I mean, he is a gastroenterologist. I mean, give a little free medical exam. I don't know.
On October 9th, the previous year, another woman told Minneapolis airport police that Abraham touched her 3 times on her leg until she told him to stop. Abraham denied touching the 2 other women, who said that the experience left them feeling violated. Abraham was arrested on Monday on 1 count of abusive sexual conduct. If convicted, he faces up to 2 years in prison. What? And Fester, we think he's a gastroenterologist, a doctor in the Dallas area.
So there's a link here to request an appointment.
Let's just call the phone number.
Yeah.
817-58. See what happens if we call up.
Thank you for choosing Digestive Health Associates of Texas, North Richland Hills. The office of Dr. Balu Chandra, Dr. Sherian Abraham, and nurse practitioner Haley Kim.
Oh.
Our office is currently closed. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial.
It's a morning show bid emergency.
Normal business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Our address is 7835 Boulevard
26, North Richland Hills, Texas, 76180. Yeah, I'm reading the
Our
website.
fax number is 817.
Oh, this is a very thorough message.
Yeah, listen, I just want to know if Dr. Molester works there.
If it is essential that you reach medical personnel, please press 8 now to be transferred to our answering service. Otherwise, please
push
call
8?
back during normal
Was it 8?
business hours.
Was it 8? Let's get
Thank you
transferred.
for calling Digestive Health. Please stay on the line for the next telephone
I
representative.
mean, the answering service isn't going to know Dr. Sherry and Abraham.
Hey, Andrew, pick up the phone. Oh, Andrew's shaking his head. My producer doesn't want to pick up the phone? See if the answering service can talk to us on the air. We've got a very important question to ask.
About the doctor,
All right.
good doctor.
Yeah, ask the answering service if they can talk to the MJ Morning Show live. All right? Andrew, put your mic on so I can hear your side of the conversation. Put your mic on. Andrew, put your mic on.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Are you speaking to the answering service?
I may ask to hold for a moment.
Oh, you're asked to hold? Tell them this is a molesting, groping emergency.
Can I put somebody from the answering service on with the MJ Morning Show?
Live
in Tampa.
Got a question.
We just have a question.
Yeah, we got a medical, very, very serious medical question.
Digestive health question.
Oh, they're waving us off?
All right.
All right. What are they saying?
They're saying that they don't have the authority to do that.
Tell them I'm giving them the authority.
We're granting him the authority right
they
now.
hung up. All right. I guess. Oh, what a bizarre story. I mean, we think it's him. I mean, how many Cherry and Abrahams are there in the Texas area, right?
The Texas area is pretty big. It's one of the larger pieces of land you can choose.
It's a very large piece of real estate. Holy crap. All right, 8:41 at the MJ Morning Show. Q105, 104.7 FM. We're still rolling with over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. So Michelle sends me an item last night. I'm just trying to figure out, is there like a message you're sending me here? You don't need to wash your gym clothes after every use, according to a study. First of all, who's studying that you don't need to wash your gym clothes? I'm going to tell you right now that I did not need to wash my gym clothes for an entire school year when I was in high school.
Yeah, right? You'd have that locker, you just take them off and keep them in there?
Just put it in them. I don't think I have. Because you know what happened? Whenever I would take my gym clothes home to get cleaned, I'd forget them, and then I wouldn't be able to remember the dress out. Remember you had to dress out, and then you'd get like in trouble, or you get points deducted from your health and PE grade.
Do they still do that in school?
I don't know.
I mean, I remember a friend of mine had PE first period. You
but we
wake
had
up, get dressed, come to school.
We had to buy. When I was in Virginia Beach public schools, we had to buy the uniform. They were blue shorts and a red shirt. And everyone had to dress out in the same damn gym gear in Virginia Beach public schools when I was there. I remember junior high school, Independence Junior High School for 8th and 9th grade, and then for high school.
I never had to dress out for high school. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I absolutely remember. I think I only had to dress out in 10th grade. I think maybe 11th and 12th we didn't have to do it anymore, whatever the deal was. But what do you send me here? A new study claiming that re-wearing your activewear is not as bad as you might think, that you do not, even after a hot and sticky, sweaty workout, you do not need to wash your activewear after each use.
Yeah, even if you're sweating something, unless you stink, the clothing really doesn't smell that bad after maybe one use.
Oh, dude, dirty laundry, man. That has a reek to it.
It does.
If it's all balled up in a corner, yeah. If it's in the hamper.
Earlier this year, there was some advice that was handed out about washing clothes and what the heck is that? Oh, it's dirty laundry. Thank you, Andrew. Dirty laundry. According to Dr. Carolina Quintero Rodriguez, a senior lecturer in fashion, the recommendation has some valid points. The recommendation stems from legitimate environmental concerns that, I knew this was coming back to the greening, that to stay green, don't wash as much, using too much water, electricity, putting soap and suds into the environment, etc. So that's what it comes down to. So it's...
Well, if you don't need to, you don't need to.
I thought this was going to be a whole green thing. So, all right. Generation Z. Why does everything have to have a name? I'm not the generations. I'm not saying Generation Z, but I saw this new piece that Generation Z's new dating trend is called floodlighting. So that's what why do all of these trends, why does everything have to have a name?
It has to have something that's worthy of clicking on.
Yeah, but what are some of the other names? Like, we've had a dozen different dating trends or situations, and we've had names for every single one. Can you remember any of the other names that we've had in the last, year or two? I know we've had a bunch of stories.
We just did a story recently.
What was it?
I forget what the name of it was.
It's not like gaslighting. But,
but it's in the same lane.
Yeah,
But I forget what it was.
The latest now is floodlighting.
Yeah, what is that?
So Generation Z, there's a dating trend called floodlighting. Floodlighting, the latest dating trend making waves where people share deeply personal or emotional details too soon in a relationship, often in an attempt to accelerate intimacy. Oh, geez. Okay. Floodlighting. Is that where the floodlight means that you pop on this bright light to like illuminate and expose everything? Is that what it's like? Is that where the term comes from?
Yeah,
Sounds like.
Yeah, if you turn on the floodlight day one, then I'll see you later, crazy.
So Gen Z apparently is doing a whole lot of floodlighting where they're just like spilling all kinds of like secret, intimate details very, very quickly. Number one, here are 3 signs you may be floodlighting, and I had to stop. Number 1, you immediately overshare personal traumas. Floodlighting often comes from an honest desire for connection, but can backfire. Imagine going on a first date where the spark feels instant, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
So some other dating terms, breadcrumbing, orbiting, cushioning, groundhogging,
Caspering, catfishing, kitten fishing, pocketing, ghosting, groundhogging.
And all of these have a slightly different definition.
What is
fishing?
What is peacocking?
Let me show
you. I'm sure you talked about this.
Is that what you spread your feathers out? You got to show everything or something?
I think so.
You put on a world-class show to win their affections.
Yeah. So like these are all just, they're now applying these silly, I don't know, names or whatever to something that's just normal social interaction. And if you don't know how to do it, Fester, what do you say?
Hit the road, Jack.
Right.
Or Jackie.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, do we have to have a name for it? Don't you know not to overshare? Don't you know when you go on a first date,
Not
you don't
if you're
talk about.
floodlighting.
I mean, you're not going to talk about, your father molested you when you were, 6.
But all these
Is that you're just
names-
going to put that on the table, right?
Well, that's what apparently what it is.
Would you like to get an appetizer first?
So that's floodlighting, where you spill everything.
Oh, your mom was an alcoholic. Oh, would you like some fried mozzarella?
All right, so number 2.
How about a margarita to go with that?
I'll take some.
No.
I'll take some potato skins.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, my brother shoved it up.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot.
My dad's in the pen.
Yeah.
Good date.
Number 2, you expect instant emotional reciprocity. Number 3, you use vulnerability to test acceptance. So now,
I mean, this is just tedious to know all these names and to apply it to what's happening. Hello, just act normal. Don't overshare.
So Fester just brought up this whole list of dating terms on Google. There are a number of ones that we've talked about that are not even on this list.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think, did we talk about peacocking?
I think we talked about peacocking because it was like such an extravagant effort to win somebody's affections, but that's not the lifestyle. That's just the initial investment.
Peacocking.
I have been using the word peacocking wrong, apparently, for quite a while because mine's not that elaborate.
Oh, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez.
That's another one, Bezosing.
Yeah.
Dating when you're a billionaire.
The wedding list, the guest list is starting to emerge.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not invited to the Jeff Bezos wedding. Would you like to know some of the names that are popping up as Jeff Bezos will get married to this Lauren Sanchez?
When are they getting married?
Yeah, according to TMZ, some of those who have already received invitations. So the billionaire, Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder, and his bride-to-be, they're going to have an Italian wedding this summer. They've been engaged for 2 years, so sometime this summer. I'm sure it's going to be like, Lake Como or something, which is gorgeous, by the way.
I don't know, but is an Italian wedding different than another wedding?
So according to the Daily Mail, Lauren Sanchez will be walking down the aisle in Venice to marry her longtime
Venice.
partner, Jeff Bezos.
Why Venice? Venice is like it's like the theme park of Italy. There's so many nice. Go to the Amalfi Coast. What is that place where that wedding chapel that we walked by up in? What was that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Michelle,
I know.
near Positano.
Yeah.
What was just bring up the map. We walked by. It was.
Are you saying Venice isn't your first or fifth choice?
No.
All right, so they're getting married at the end of June.
But also, Venice has had this big tourist, anti-tourism movement.
Yeah, they've been cracking down on tourism.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to pay a fee to get in there.
Well, they've instituted recently a fee, and they're limiting the number of people to get into Venice.
I think Fester and I just said that.
Did you say
Are you
that?
listening to us?
Not really. He's not
Do you have
listening.
headphones on over there, buddy? But to your point, MJ, I mean, if she picked Venice to be the look, Venice is beautiful in its own way, but I think that speaks to
Ravenna. That's there are so many nicer places that they can get married. And listen, I do like Venice, but Venice is far. That might be my least favorite part of Italy. I mean, Lake Como is gorgeous.
Okay, well, let's not critique the whole country here. All right, let's not lose the forest for the trees here. Who's invited to this wedding?
All right, so, well, thank you, Fester. Thanks for putting the train back on the tracks.
MJ pooping on fantastic European destinations is a terrible
All right,
podcast.
so far, Oprah has been invited to Jeff Bezos' wedding. Kim Kardashian has been, I'm going to the wedding.
How does she make the list?
Oh, my God.
I mean,
I think they're friends.
Are they?
Really?
I think Kim is friends with Lauren.
Lauren Sanchez. Ivanka Trump is going to be invited to the wedding. These are some of the names that TMZ is revealing. Oh, Eva Longoria has gotten an invite.
Well, they are really good friends.
Katy Perry. Orlando Bloom. Well, they're engaged, right? Orlando Bloom.
I think they're married, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought they're engaged. I don't think they're married yet. So Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry, they've been invited. Oh, Kris Jenner, as well as Kim Kardashian. So Ivanka Trump. Oh, Jared Kushner as well. Joshua Kushner and his model wife Carly Kloss. They're invited as well. Let's see. Media mogul Barry Diller. Oh, Diane von Furstenberg, the designer.
Oh.
Film producer Brian Glazer. He's done a ton of movies.
He's in trouble.
Why is he in trouble?
He was in trouble a while ago, I think.
Like Me Too stuff?
Yeah, but not for women, I think.
Oh, okay.
I feel like.
Jeff's like, sure, come on aboard.
Anyway. And listen to this, Jeff. You know what? It's 8:53. I don't want to get too late here. All right, there's more to the Jeff Bezos Lauren Sanchez wedding coming up. You're not going to believe how much a night guests are going to have to pay to stay in the hotel. Do you know how much a room per night? This blew me away. You got to hear this when we get back. Have you heard about the monster under the bed that kids are afraid of? What if there really is something under the bed? Hey, we'll get to that in just a matter of moments. Hey, there's a lot of stuff. Shrinkflation is getting really out of whack. There's a lot of stuff we'll get to next. Don't move. It's the 9 o'clock hour. The MJ Morning Show continues in minutes here on 104.7 FM, Q105. And, of course, this brings to an end over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. My friends... Morning show, 9 o'clock hours here. Let's pick up with the Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez billion-dollar wedding. So, among the stories that are coming out of this summertime wedding in Italy, and I guess it's Venice, is the wedding going to be held on this $500 million super yacht?
No, it's going to be probably in one of the hotels. And if you look at the article, someone else was married at that hotel.
Right, but somehow the $500 million Jeff Bezos super yacht is part of the equation.
It's the taxi.
So are they moving guests onto the yacht for certain events?
They're moving the guests with the yacht.
Yeah, I imagine they can have a pretty good party on a $500 million yacht.
MJ,
Can you imagine if that yacht goes down with Oprah on board? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Have you been to Venice?
Yes, you and I we've been to Venice multiple times.
You realize you need a boat to get around?
It's just south of Sarasota.
Yeah.
All right, we've been
north of Fort Myers.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, his yacht is going to be used as a taxi.
Okay.
$500 million taxi?
Hey.
I don't know that it could go underneath those little bridges.
All right, but then the hotel, because before the break, I mentioned that the guests are expected to, so the wedding's going to be in the hotel. So I didn't know where
it's speculated.
All right, but the guests are expected to stay in a hotel where the rooms, the suites are $32,000 a night.
Wow.
What the living F? A $32,000. Listen.
I think he can afford it.
Yeah, is Jeff not covering it?
We've got a little travel plannage this weekend. So I'm still trying to get on schedule. And then while I'm in the middle of scuba diving, Michelle says, yeah, we're going to go take Julian back up to school after spring break in New York. And we got a couple of other things we need to do up there. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get back on my circadian rhythm after being 12 hours ahead.
So you're leaving after tomorrow's show?
Oh, yeah. I got to fly out tomorrow. I was looking forward to this weekend. All right, if there's one good thing, I'll get some great pizza tomorrow.
Exactly.
Hey, Michelle, listen. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, I don't want any crap from you.
Yeah, woman.
I said, listen, fine. You want me to go with you guys on the weekend, John? I'm here. I'm there. I'm there for you and the family. But when we land at LaGuardia tomorrow night, we're driving over to a pizza shop in Ridgewood, Queens that I love.
Nope.
What do you mean, nope?
Not on my agenda.
We have plenty of time.
No,
we're taking Julian back to his dorm. We have nope. So when we land at LaGuardia, we're going to pick up the rental car at the rental car place.
What's it called? What's this pizza place called?
Monos. MANO''S.
Dude, that's what my sister caught in high school.
Let me tell you right now. Monos in Ridgewood, Queens is fantastic. It's one of the best slices I've had in years. Well, listen, the whole New York City pizza game has been elevated. There are so many great spots. I would go see Luigi at Luigi's in Brooklyn. In Park Slope area. I would, but that's a little far from me, and that's a little out of the way. But whenever I'm in New York, I will take the train out to see Luigi.
Fascinating.
La Industry is amazing. Scars Pizza.
Scars. Yes.
Cello, Lucia. You got L&B. You got for the coal-fired pies. You got John's on Bleecker. You got Juliana's.
Let's talk more about pizza places 1,000 miles away.
Brooklyn. Dude, do you know how many people? Dude, you know what? You are out of touch.
Yeah, I'm out of touch.
Do you know how many? Do you know? Listen. Do you know how many people listen to this show that go to New York and ask me? I get hundreds of requests a year from people.
Do you know how many people don't give a rat's ass?
Yeah.
You want to talk about out of touch?
Fester.
You want to have that pissing contest?
I
Man,
have
seriously.
tons of people a year ask me.
Start a podcast. Start a Pizza Putz podcast.
Thank you.
The Pizza Putz?
Jesus.
I'm not eating that.
Dude, calm down. Mono's is tremendous. It is fantastic.
Boo.
Stop it.
Dude, not
I'm looking
not
at the
what my
picture.
sister said. She said it knocked her on her ass for like 10 days.
No, I'm going. It's MANO. It's not MONO. It's not it's not mononucleose. Anyway, so after we land at LaGuardia on Friday night, we're going to get some Mono's pizza, and then we'll drop Julian off in the city, and I wanna go to Cello on St. Mark's. I got a couple places I want to hit in the city. Good. Because I haven't been in Cello yet. I want to try Cello.
I think that you just got back from a vacation that you picked and went all by yourself. That I'm going to pick what happens on this little weekend excursion. Not you. Okay.
Well, I want to get a
Hey,
slice.
Short King, back it down.
Short King.
I am going to tell you what to do this weekend. Okay.
You already are. I'm just getting a slice of pizza when we get off the flight at LaGuardia. That's all I'm telling you.
Can't you guys argue at home?
Counsel.
Can't you guys argue at home? Look at you.
Anyway,
Weigh in.
Am I done with the Jeff Bezos wedding?
We're still talking about that?
Maybe I should move on.
Look, you're poo-pooing it, and I was kind of poo-pooing it too. But apparently, George and Amal got married there.
George and what?
George Clooney and Amal Amel?
Yeah.
Anal?
No,
What's Amali? What's her name?
I don't feel
You
comfortable.
mean George Clooney's wife?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought they got married in Lake Como.
No, they got married in Venice. There's a
Really?
picture in your article.
All right, fine.
Read to page 2, buddy.
It's a pretty hoity-toity place. It's not a dump if it's 32 grand a night.
So by the way, I'm coming back all lonely on Sunday to be here for Monday's show. Michelle will not be here for Monday's show because Michelle's continuing on this little travel mission. So you'll be back on Tuesday morning, right?
I'll be back on Wednesday morning.
No. You come in Monday night.
So?
What time do you get back on Monday?
1 a.m.
No, you don't. All right, Michelle will not be here on Monday's show, but Michelle will be here.
My flight lands at roughly, 10:30.
It does not land
Don't pick me up until around midnight or after. I'll just
right.
hang out at the airport bar.
Your flight does not come in at midnight on
10:30.
No, it does not.
It's 10:30.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, there's no reason why you can't be here Tuesday morning. So
yes.
no Michelle. It'll just be Fester and me.
Sorry.
On Monday morning.
Were you snoring for the Fester and MJ portion of the show? Or are you going to be, is that you sleeping?
I'm going to be sleeping.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Hey, if you got a kid that's really scared about a monster under their bed, don't tell them this story.
What?
A babysitter in Great Bend, Kansas, discovered a man hiding under the child's bed.
See, don't tell me this.
Oh, my God. Holy frig.
That's a shooting right there.
A babysitter. This is why you want your babysitter to be armed.
Yeah.
Glock, Sig Sauer, whatever. A babysitter discovered a man hiding under a child's bed in Kansas. It happened on Monday evening, earlier this week, 10:30 p.m. The Barton County Sheriff's Office says a babysitter was putting the children to bed when one of them told her that a monster was under the bed. And the babysitter says, no, there's no monster under your bed. The babysitter, hoping to comfort the child by showing them there was nothing, looked under the bed and came face to face with a man hiding underneath the bed.
How did the guy keep from laughing as she's like, no, and he's like, I'm totally here.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
There was an altercation. The babysitter and the child were knocked over. The man fled the home before the sheriff's office arrived. The man was identified as someone who used to live at the house, but was barred from being there due to a protection and abuse order. So it sounds like this guy was mommy's boyfriend or something, and then got tossed for some type of domestic violence issue. And then he breaks into the house and is hanging out under the kid's bed.
What a creep.
There's a monster under my bed. Sure, there's no such thing as monsters under. Let's take a look. Oh, my God. You know, it's
terrible.
Oh, my, that's insane.
That is one of my biggest fears, that somebody's under the bed.
Do you check under our bed?
I don't check because I'm scared. So when you're gone, I literally dive like from the 2 or 3 feet away up onto the bed when I get in bed.
Yeah, under your side of the bed is an FN57 with 3 full mags.
The monster might get it before me.
No.
Now that he knows it's there. Thanks for the tip.
Michelle loves her FN57, man. Hey, Bruce, can I get some ammo, please? All right. The sheriff's office says deputies continued searching for the man in the area into the morning. He was found near the home again after a short foot pursuit. He was taken into custody. 27-year-old man's been booked into the Barton County, Kansas jail on suspicion of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, aggravated battery, child endangerment, felony obstruction of a law enforcement officer, violation of a protection from abuse order, being held on a $500,000 bond. Now we're talking.
What
now
was he gonna do?
That's the kind of bond that I want to hear. $500,000.
What was his plan? What a devious guy.
I don't know. But, I mean, how about the kids saying to the babysitter, there's a monster under the bed? No, there's not. Let's take a look. And, oh, my God, there is a guy under the bed.
She was right.
That is insane. Guess who claims they came up with raw dogging?
Cavemen?
No, Fester.
Fester,
I'm talking about the airplane travel story.
Oh,
like, come on, man. Come on.
Because my dad swears he invented it. Well, if he didn't invent it, he never deviated from it.
Stop, man. Raw dogging is when you're on a flight. This is like a new trend, and this has come to light, in the last year or so? And people that raw dog a flight, they sit there, they get on an airplane, they're flying from A to B. So I'm flying from Tampa to LaGuardia.
Uh-huh.
And I sit there just staring straight ahead. I do nothing. I don't log on to the Wi-Fi. I don't read a magazine. I don't pull out a book. I don't, I'm not watching the in-flight entertainment. I'm doing nothing. I sit there. I stare straight ahead. That's what's called raw dogging as far as air travel goes. And this is a trend. We've had numerous stories recently about people that are into this raw dogging and just sitting there. First of all, it's ridiculously boring. I mean, you got to consume your time with something, but people are actually doing this. But guess who says that he was actually the original raw dogger, and this goes back years? Michelle, think about this. Who's the original raw dogger? Think about years and years ago.
I would have no idea.
Do I have to give you a hint?
I mean, a hint would be nice.
Yeah.
The hint would be, here's hint number 1.
Tom Brokaw.
No. All right, here's hint number 2. All right, do you know now who's claiming that he was the original raw dogger?
Is it Jerry Seinfeld?
No, it's not Jerry Seinfeld.
It's one of the guys from
come on.
Is it Larry David?
Nope, not no.
It would be him though.
Michael, Michael Richards?
Michael Richards. It wasn't Kramer. Can you think of a scene from a Seinfeld episode on an airplane?
On an airplane?
All right, let me.
Yeah, Elaine is annoyed because she's sitting in the middle.
Hang on. You're getting close.
Oh, is it Mr. Hurley?
No, it's not. It's not him.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Obviously, I have no idea.
What was the name of Mr. Peterman?
Mr. Peterman.
John
O'Hurley.
John O'Hurley. That's his real name.
I conflated the real name with the fake name. So sorry.
All right.
Elaine,
excuse me.
I was in the Amazon, Elaine. All right, here is the audio. This is not a clue. This is the actual audio.
Mm-hmm.
The original Raw Dogger.
The boyfriend?
Yes, listen.
You want something to read?
No.
Well, are you going to take a nap? Or...
No.
You just going to sit there staring at the back of the seat?
That's it. Just staring.
That's it. I cannot take this.
So it's Patrick Warburton. The character Elaine's boyfriend was
Putty?
Putty, yes.
Okay, that's, I mean.
But that is like the mid-90s, and he was raw dogging on the airplane, and now this whole raw dogging of sitting on a plane and staring straight ahead and not doing anything during the flight, now it's in vogue, and some idiots are doing this, but Patrick Warburton just did an interview saying that he was the original. He shot a video, he put it up on Instagram, and said that he was the original raw dogger on an airplane in the Seinfeld episode.
I would have to agree with him.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely. Do you know what I discovered this morning?
Your butt.
I discovered something very, very, very shocking this morning.
What's that?
I found out that our producer, Andrew, has never watched one episode of Seinfeld.
Oh. He can binge it now.
Andrew, come on, you're lying to me.
The only Seinfeld I've watched is the series of clips I've had to pull audio for your show.
Does it just not appeal to you?
How do you not watch a Seinfeld episode?
It just never something that was in my routine.
Are you a sitcom guy?
Oh, I love sitcoms, but I like funny ones.
So what sitcoms do you consider funny if you don't consider Seinfeld funny?
I don't remember offhand what was running at the time that Seinfeld was on, but I watched Big Bang Theory. And
You watch Big Bang Theory?
See, I never watched that.
Did you watch Friends?
I did watch some Friends, yes.
See, I never liked Friends that much. I mean, I tolerated it for a little bit.
How about How I Met Your Mother?
No. I've seen a couple of episodes. But
Okay.
What about like the old school ones, like All in the Family or the
I grew up
Jeffersons?
with MASH.
Okay.
Right.
MASH.
But you know what? I think Andrew's not alone. I think that there are a lot of people out there who do not think that the Seinfeld show is funny.
See, I never liked MASH. I was never a MASH fan.
Oh, it's funny.
I never really cared for MASH.
Boo.
I bet you Andrew was alone for a very long time.
But how many people have never watched Seinfeld? I mean, you must be in the extreme minority. Listen, I'm sure like Maasai folks over in Africa haven't seen a lot of Seinfeld. But other than that, who the hell hasn't seen Seinfeld?
Well, what about like 30 Rock or I don't know, The Office or
It never really interested me.
Hold on, The Office never interested you?
No.
All right.
Man, you get weirder by
You know
the
what?
day.
I think it's too easy for him. It's the humor's not, he needs something more cerebral.
That's unbelievable. Just
What about the Golden Girls?
No.
All four of those.
He does not watch the Golden Girls. Andrew, do you watch the Golden Girls?
I watch it now.
I watch the Golden
No,
Girls.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I watch the
Oh,
Golden
no.
Girls.
Hey, if you're planning to go on summer vacation and hit a U.S. national park, that's a big deal. A lot of people do the national park deal for summer vacation.
Absolutely, man.
Well, as you prepare for possible summer travel to national parks, well, first of all, who the hell knows what's going to happen with all the...
Dude, get ready for some weights.
Yeah, I mean, listen, with the government being, half of them being fired, I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen? But as you make plans, this list might assist you in where to choose. I have the 10 deadliest national parks in the United States.
Wow.
With one seeing more than 20 fatalities in a year. What do you think the most deadly national park in the United States is, if you were to guess?
I mean, isn't there like a Grand Canyon National Park?
That would be correct.
Yeah. I mean,
So is that your guess?
that would be my guess.
So your guess is the deadliest park in the United States is the Grand Canyon National Park.
I mean, unless it's like Mount McKinley National Park or whatever that's
That
called.
would be wrong.
Which one? Both of them?
No. Well, yeah, both of your guesses would be wrong. So the Grand Canyon National Park has an average of 12.7 deaths a year.
Oh.
That's only good for number 2.
Yeah, it's the other one.
That's only good for number 2. What other one?
What's the other one?
It's the park that's the desert one where people, are all dehydrated when they're trying to walk through
No,
there.
it's not the Mojave Desert.
Is Death
Death Valley.
Death Valley National Park?
No, it's it's not. It's a good. No,
They put death in their name. You should.
all right, let me start at number 10. Yeah, death is in the name.
Is Everglades National Park here?
What about the Health National Park? Is that how does that one do?
Everybody survives.
All right. So number 10. This is the list. So this is research from 2007 to 2024. All right. So these are the deadliest national parks. If you're trying to become, a little more adventurous, do the national park circuit with the families. So this data, this is the average number of yearly deaths. Common causes include falling, drowning, motor vehicle crashes. Half of the deaths are unintentional, mainly caused by people being careless. All right, here we go. You ready? So the 10th most deadly park in the United States is... Hey, boo-boo.
Jellystone?
No, it's Yellowstone.
Oh.
There's no Jellystone.
Wait, hold on. Jellystone's a fake park?
Gee, Yogi. There's no Jellystone is fake. That's where Yogi lives.
But Yellowstone's the real one.
Yeah, so Yellowstone comes in at number 10
I'd rather go to Jellystone.
with an average of 4.94 deaths a year. Number 9, Sequoia National Park. So it's Sequoia and Kings Canyon. Number 9, 5.41 average deaths a year. Number 8, Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. I don't even know what that is. 8.17. Number 7, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park comes in at number 7, 8.82 average deaths per year. Number 6, Golden Gate National Recreation Area. That must be people jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. I wonder if that counts.
That kind of skews it a little bit. If you have a big suicide magnet there.
Yeah.
Number 5 is the Natchez Trace Parkway. Is that in New Mexico?
No, Natchez isn't that
Where's
a windy
Natchez?
road through Mississippi?
No. Look it up. Where's Natchez Trace Parkway?
Natchez, Mississippi. Yeah.
Are you sure?
It like goes from
Am I wrong?
Natchez,
All right, man.
Trace.
No, first of all, you're spelling it wrong. It's Natchez.
Yeah, it's through Mississippi and
All right,
Tennessee.
well, I'm wrong. All right. So the Natchez Trace Parkway.
That's got to be car accidents because that's a really windy, narrow road.
All right, so I stand corrected. Number 5. Number 4, Blue Ridge Parkway.
Another Carolina-based mountain road.
Windy roads. That's, North Carolina and Virginia, the Blue Ridge Parkway. Coming in at number 3, Yosemite National Park. All those amateurs trying to do, what's that Stark face? El Capitan, right?
Yeah.
No training whatsoever. You've got a couple of D clips of dicks, and next thing you know, you're trying to climb a mountainside.
No problem. Which is the one with all the geysers that people jump in? And die instantly?
That's Yellowstone.
Okay.
So Old Faithful is at Yellowstone.
Right.
Michelle and I have been there. Remember, we snowmobiled in the middle of winter from the south entrance of Yellowstone, from Jackson, Wyoming. We snowmobiled to Old Faithful from the south entrance and back, 93 miles round trip.
Your asses must have been raw.
Man, that was a fun little trip. It's the whole freaking day. That was pretty amazing. And then we went to watch Old Faithful erupt and all that, and then we headed on back. Michelle was attacked by a moose.
Maybe I wished I was.
All right. Number 3 is Yosemite. At number 3, most deaths in national parks. Number 2 is the Grand Canyon National Park. And number 1, we have not revealed number 1 yet. And coming in, hi everybody, I'm Casey Kasem. And now we're up to the deadliest park in the USA.
Everglades National Park.
Nope.
Oh.
Lake Mead National Recreation Area.
Oh, people drown in the lake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boating accidents. This is amazing, an average of 20.88 deaths a year at the Lake Mead National Recreation Area.
That sucks.
That's insane. So plan your summer vacation accordingly, and with all kinds of government workers being fired, who the hell knows what's going to be open this summer? All right, 9:24 at the MJ Morning Show. The final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next. And it's never just leftover crap. It's always A-list material. And that is next, including when you buy an airplane ticket, make sure you're going to the right place because there are places that have similar names.
Well, like Miami, Ohio instead of Miami, Florida?
Just wait a sec. You'll find out next. Also, shrinkflation. Man, it is getting really noticeable when you're like taking out food or what's happening with the size of food containers these days. I'd hold on to that thought. There's a lot to go. Final segment next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. 9:32 MJ Morning Show. Fester, what is the number one mission that you have today? What is the first thing and only thing you really need to be concerned with after the show today?
Well, I think this is a joint effort by several members of the current staffing situation here in the MJ Morning Show. However, my slice of it is trying to get in touch with Brianna, Cakes on Cakes girl.
Absolutely. That's it, man. That is really the only thing you need to do is to make contact with this cake lady and have her make us an MJ Morning Show cake, and then she sits on that cake and posts it on her Instagram.
And I'll have everything posted if you guys want to check her out on our MJ Morning Show Facebook page, and we'll put up the Instagram, YouTube video of our earlier segment. Yeah. But she is right now my favorite person on Instagram.
Oh, man, I just want to hear her say,
"Crush it."
Yeah, me too. I like
crush it.
What's not to like?
Oh, man. That's fantastic. Hey, shrinkflation is just out of control. I was reading a story that a lot of people are complaining, like two places. One we don't have around here, which I really like. It's more West Coast. And ask Michelle, whenever we're in L.A., I've got to stop where?
In-N-Out.
No, I like In-N-Out, but what's the other place?
Some chicken place.
Yes, some chicken. El Pollo Loco.
Oh, yeah, because you know what? When Julian and I were carousing around yesterday, I saw that. What's the other one that's kind of like it?
Pollo Tropical.
Yeah, we went past one of those, and I was like...
So, Pollo Tropical, they're from, I think they started down in Miami. And I like Pollo Tropical as well.
Right.
I like El Pollo Loco because you can get the tortillas there. So, Pollo Tropical, they don't do the tortillas. And I like taking the chicken and taking the rice and the beans and making my own little tortilla roll-up. Mm-hmm. And you had a choice of flour or corn. And so that's one of the reasons I really like El Pollo Loco. But we don't have any over on this side of the country. Mm-mm. So I was reading a story, but the other fast food chain, people know the Chinese chain. Of course, Fester, when I say Chinese fast food all over the place.
What, Panda Express?
That is correct. So two places in this article where people are really noticing that the sizes, the takeout containers are shrinking. It's everywhere. Where did I recently complain? Where were we? There was somewhere where I recently noticed that the takeout container was...
No, I told you when you brought it home. I said, oh, this container is smaller.
Yeah.
But the food portion wasn't smaller.
I think it was. Listen,
I don't think it was.
If you have a smaller container...
Oh, but it was overflowing.
Where was that one?
The Cuban place that you stop sometimes and bring home.
Peepo's?
Oh yeah. So they've got like I like Peepo's.
Good place.
Yeah.
Peepo's is here on the corner. I like Peepo's, but I think they've gone to smaller takeout containers as well. Everyone is doing it. Everyone is going to, and Peepo's is great. I like their chicken. I like their pork. Mm-hmm. But everyone is going to smaller containers as food costs rise. What's going on is that food prices, the price we pay is going up, but a lot of places are coming up with smaller containers.
I think it's necessary. I mean, they can't keep operating with their costs are going up. They can't keep charging you more.
Yeah.
You're not going to, go in and get the food.
But here's a video that popped up. I'll just read you the verbatim. Breaking news. Panda Express is implementing another round of shrinkflation. This is a guy named Christian at the start of a video that he posted online. He argues that the takeout containers at Panda Express are definitely shallower. And then here is a measurement of the depth, he says, shows photos of the takeout box being measured, equating to 3 by 8. But I guess he's claiming that the takeout containers used to be much bigger. Hey, listen, I've seen this. It's happening. The takeout containers are getting smaller, so therefore less food is going in. Now, you are correct, though. I think we noticed that the Peepos up here on the corner, that they went to a smaller container. But the last takeout that I took, it was packed seriously.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt like it was the same amount as before.
Maybe. Well, that negates the purpose. But there are plenty of examples, if they're trying to save money and cut costs. But there are plenty of examples where a lot of places are going to smaller containers to put less food in and cuts the costs.
The smaller styrofoam box. Yeah.
So the styrofoam, like, the partition white styrofoam where you have like the big portion up front and then you have the two little containers in the back for like side items. Those things are getting smaller. Restaurants are ordering smaller versions of that to cut down. So heads up, shrinkflation all around. Hey, you know what else is affecting restaurants? The restaurant reservation scalping is turning into a massive, massive problem.
Really?
Yeah. And it's the reselling of restaurant reservations. And this is a big business. You've got apps and other websites that are in the business of scarfing up reservations and then selling them for a premium to customers that want to try to get into Restaurant X. And this is becoming problematic. And restaurateurs are screaming and yelling about the reselling of these dining reservations. And many restaurants are saying that it's starting to cost them. You have people that are just trying to find the reservation on like Open Table or Resy. Did you know who owns Resy?
Who? I don't know.
American Express.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, Amex. Yeah. American Express owns Resy. But what's happening is a lot of these restaurants have gone to Open Table and Resy, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's how they're managing the reservations. But you've got these third parties now that are scarfing up the reservations from Resy and other reservation sites and then selling it for a profit. Hey, you want a reservation at Carbone? You want a reservation at, wherever. Yeah, I just mentioned New York spot, but, locally here, you want a reservation at Burns or, Burns has a strict policy now that they have a way to figure out whether, you made the reservation yourself or whether you bought it from a reseller. And they will turn away any resold reservation. And they've got some tricks to figure those things out.
Well, New York has enacted a law against this now.
Yeah, so New York, I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
Well, no,
share it.
No, I just wasn't sure if you were aware.
Yeah, New York was first to take action. They've got the Restaurant Reservation Anti-Piracy Act.
It seems very official.
It's the RRAP. It's the Restaurant Reservation Anti-Piracy Act. And it bans third parties from selling restaurant reservations without the establishment's consent. And that law went into effect just last month. Now, California lawmakers are looking into the same thing. So one of the problems here is that restaurants typically see about 5 to 10% of their books are no-shows in a single night. But in 2023, it jumped to 25% seemingly overnight.
Really?
Yeah, with some of the people scarfing up the reservations, hoping to sell them, not, and then they've got all these openings. So that's something that has the restaurants going nuts. You think your book is filled, and then you have all these no-shows? That's a screw job, man. That's terrible.
Maybe they just should not offer the reservations online then.
Yeah. Hey, listen to these spring breakers. Lynn Mazouz and Kira Smith, best friends. They were so set for spring break in San Jose, Costa Rica.
Uh-oh.
Guess where they ended up?
Was San Jose, California?
That's exactly where they ended up.
That's funny.
Oh, man. How do you make that? I've heard of these stories over the years, and I'm trying to remember some of the other. I think San Jose was one of the areas where there have been mistakes made, but there are a few others. But just make sure that you're booking a flight to the city. They thought they were going to They thought they were going to be hanging on the beach in Costa Rica, baby.
Yeah, man. Beautiful this time of year.
They ended up in San Jose, California.
Which is also a lovely town, right?
I have no desire to. Do I know the way to San Jose? I do, and I don't want to go. All right. So just they were freaking out. I mean, don't you know you're getting on a flight? Don't you look at you have no idea, and you land, and we're not in the right San Jose. Oh, what a.
Didn't they wonder when they never had customs or anything? Or?
Bunch of schmucks.
You know what? They're the same spring breakers that girl was interviewing the other day on the beach.
Oh, that's right, at Clearwater Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly dumb people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Listen to this. This is the kind of stuff that I'm just intrigued. I like mines and tunnels, and I just like spelunking. Michelle, I like this kind of weird kind of. I like subterranean.
You're a cave guy?
I'm glad you said weird.
I just like it. It interests me.
We'll go to Luray Caverns.
You know what? I've been to. Listen. I grew up in Virginia Beach. I've been to Luray Caverns. In fact, I was one of the ones that rubbed the scrambled egg. Not the scrambled egg, but the. They've got a. I wonder if it's all rubbed away now. But on the trail when you're in Luray Caverns, there's a formation. There was a rock that kind of looked like a sunny side egg, and you'd walk by and they had people like rub the sunny side egg yolk. So I wonder if that's still there. I don't even know if it's still like this, but I went to Luray Caverns in Virginia, up in the the Blue Ridge area. I went there back in 1977, 78. I was there several times, but back then you'd walk into this creaky old house. And to get into the caverns, it was like you walked down your grandmother's cellar stairs.
Yeah, wow.
It was like a thin white, cellar door. And
then you're there.
You walk in, you walk down these creaky wooden stairs, and then you're in the cavern. You walk all around the path in the cavern. I'm got to believe they've modernized Luray Caverns since then.
I would think so.
But listen to this. I like the whole subterranean thing, mines, all that stuff fascinates me. Listen to this. A New Jersey apartment complex was built on a 120-foot deep abandoned mine. And now they're wondering if the whole apartment complex is going to cave into the mine.
How do they not know that?
Oh, my. Listen to this. Well, there have been a whole bunch of sinkholes on some of the interstates in New Jersey. So, some of the big interstate roads, they're portions have been closed because they've had these sinkholes. Listen to this. Sinkholes began to form a stone's throw away on I-80. So this is a big interstate, not 95. It's not the New Jersey Turnpike, but it's I-80, more western Jersey into Pennsylvania. And there have been multiple sinkholes, but not far from the sinkholes in Morris County. You had one open up on December 27th. One opened up on February 10th. Then a third one happened last week. A fourth one opened 2 days later, just within the last week on I-287.
Are they saying these are because of old mines?
Yeah. So according to residents at a 250-unit building called the Avalon Building, they're getting cracks in their walls now. And the apartment complex sits atop an abandoned mine, which is 120 feet deep. Holy, is that unbelievable?
There's nothing you can do about that.
Oh, man.
There's nothing you can do about that.
I would get the hell out of there, man. Yeah. So, and I think it's a rental apartment because it's Virginia-based Avalon Bay Communities, among the nation's largest owners of apartments, with 93,518 units in New Jersey alone. Can you imagine this company owns 95,000 or 93,000 apartments in New Jersey all by itself? And then there's one is on top of a mine. That is so The owner has told residents, nope, don't worry. We had inspections. But they're getting cracks in the walls.
Mm-hmm.
There's clearly some settling.
There's nothing to see here.
Oh, my God. I would get the hell out of there. None of the cracks look to have recently formed, they say. Yeah, the company cited third-party inspectors. However, an abandoned mine shaft from the late 1800s runs underneath the complex.
Nobody checks for that? Nobody goes a couple of years back in the historical record?
And one of the features here at Avalon is the surprise collapse. You know, if you like surprises.
We'll surprise the hell out of you.
Oh, my gosh. Did you see the pictures?
Yes, I've seen the pictures.
These aren't like little cracks. These are like wall separating
Yeah.
cracks.
I mean, you've got some serious cracks. Who the hell wants to live in this place? Building above mine shafts. That's some smart construction right there. Anyway, are we going to have a story soon about the Avalon apartment complex falling into a 120-foot deep mine in New Jersey?
I hope not.
Oh, my God. Hey, Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is the lead singer of what band?
Foo Fighters?
That's correct. Oh, yeah, little Foo Fighters on the MJ Morning Show.
I've got another confession to make.
Yeah, I knocked up a woman and she's pregnant with my baby. It's not my wife. That's the confession I want to make.
I've got another confession to make.
So we did the story a while ago how Dave Grohl,
a big cheating scandal.
Yeah,
he
I
had
mean,
a baby out of wedlock.
A baby with another woman, not his wife. She finds out. She's shocked. Well, guess what? Jordan Blum, who is Dave Grohl's wife, has made a decision about their future after the cheating scandal and the fact that he's got a new baby with another woman. She's decided to give their marriage a second chance. I'm telling you right now, if I knocked up another woman and had a baby, there's no way that Michelle has given me a second chance.
Yeah, but
No way.
Yeah, but you're you. I mean, Dave Grohl, a different story.
Oh, please, look at him. He's got a pig nose.
Played Nirvana.
I don't care about that.
You know what? He does look a little swine-like.
He does. I mean, I don't care that he's a rocker. He's like a hideous rocker.
Well, that hasn't stopped a lot of groupies in the past.
Well,
especially
they need to have their eyes examined. What can I say?
Anyway, Dave Grohl's wife from the Foo Fighters giving him a second chance. Are they going to have outings with the kid? Or are they going to?
I mean, you'd think they have to incorporate the kid into their life in some capacity.
Hey, George Clooney says he's done with romantic films, that he's just not going to be in the business of competing with 25-year-old leading men anymore. I think it's a noble. I mean, but George Clooney's still a good-looking guy. I mean, why?
There's a whole genre of movies that have older male leads. Like, terms of endearment type movies.
Well,
but
terms of endearment?
You remember Jack Nicholson was like the older boyfriend.
Oh, did you see that the trailer for Rust has dropped? The movie where Alec Baldwin killed the director of photography.
They made that movie?
Yes, they finished it.
Dude, the movie's coming out.
I thought it was like over.
Fester, if you were watching the Baldwin reality show, you'd know this.
I've only watched like a couple of minutes of it.
By the way, the ratings are tanking on that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah. Yeah, but the Rust trailer is out after the deadly shooting on the set. Do we want to see that?
I don't know that I want to see the movie.
Who's going to go out and see this in theater? Is it going?
Right. It's kind of a.
Is it going to theaters or is it going to like Hulu or something?
Oh, what was that story that we saw? I didn't get to it, but it was a recent story that Alec and Ilaria, the phony Baldwin, that they left their kids letters.
Yeah.
What was the story there, Michelle?
I don't know. They left their kids letters in case something happened to them when they were at the trial.
In case Alec was convicted and had to go to jail, they left their kids letters. Well, they were going to get what, disappeared off the face of the earth? I mean, come on, they're all drama maniacs.
Yes, they are.
Drama queens. Give me a break. Anyway, last week the Baldwins only had 470,000 viewers, which it's been dumping. So Yeah, the show's been panned by critics.
Dude, I am silently watching on the computer the Rust trailer.
Yeah.
This looks like the worst Western of all time. It is so bad looking.
Yeah, I don't think I'm interested in watching this thing. And knowing that this poor woman, mother and wife, got killed. All right, with that, let's leave on a high note.
Yeah, let's do that.
Anything else before we get out of here today, Fester? You know what you got to do. You got to make contact with that cake lady
and
have her make her an MJ. Have her make us an MJ Morning Show cake and then sit on it.
Well, Michelle has to produce a cake for tomorrow's broadcast.
But
I do.
Hold on. I don't think we'll do this next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
So then Michelle is going to start baking cakes, and then Fester is going to rip off this cake lady's whole act. And we're gonna have Fester sit on cakes here on the MJ Morning Show.
It'll be like a competing thing.
Listen, one night only. We'll do a little what on Instagram. Can't you like a side by side?
One night only.
Wait, one time shot for me.
Michelle's gonna bake multiple cakes for you to sit on.
No,
we're gonna have listener requests on the cake.
Ooh,
all right, we gotta roll. We gotta go, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. It's the Friday show as we wrap up the week. MJ Morning Show on Q105. You want to get a hold of me? I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com. My Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. Check it out. Give me a follow. And we'll see you tomorrow. And let's be careful out there.
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests.